bribery scandal. The OSP on Thursday indicated that these investigations have revealed that Mr. Mahama did not play any role in the scandal, and thus the investigations have been closed. The Special Prosecutor Kisei Jabeng disclosed this while providing updates on his investigations. He said this after naming John Mahama as government official 1 in the scandal per investigation by the US and UK courts. Mr. John Dramani Mahama, a former president and now flag bearer for the NDC, was vice president at the time the incident happened.
The OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and its associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former president. While the accepted facts in the two foreign jurisdictions are that the employees of Airbus designed the payments to the intermediaries as bribes intended to court favor with Ghanaian public officials, especially ex-President John Dramani Mahama. On the other hand, the intermediaries appeared to expect and receive the payments as their legitimate expectation under an arrangement of success-based commissions for the sale of the military transport aircraft to the government of Ghana. And their actions, in whichever way viewed, were calculated as businessmen expecting their lawful paychecks and not as conduits of a bribery scheme.
Meanwhile, the OSP says the investigation found no evidence to suggest that bribes were paid by Airbus to Ghanaian officials, including former President Mahama, or that any improper favors were granted in return for the purchase of the aircraft. The payments made to intermediaries were determined to be legitimate success-based commissions and not bribes intended to influence the outcome of the transaction.
The OSP has no evidentiary basis upon which to conclude that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, and Leanne Sarah Davis acted as conduits of bribery between the employees of Airbus and former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Also, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, and Leanne Sarah Davis received payments from Airbus with the intention of bribing former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Further, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official was paid bribes by Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, and Leanne Sarah Davis in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. Then again, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official was induced to improperly favor or did improperly favor Airbus in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. In the case of Sarah Feno, she should not even have been a subject of the OSP investigation.
More on the Airbus bribery scandal. The special prosecutors directed the closure of the investigation and the withdrawal of arrest warrants issued on May 13, 2020 for Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Feno. The OSP also notified Interpol of the withdrawal of red notices previously issued for these individuals.
The OSP has cited and notes that by two separate communications, both dated 22 April 2021, the SFO in the United Kingdom notified Samuel Adam Foster and Philip Sean Middlemis that a decision had been taken not to prosecute them for any offense in respect of the Airbus Ghana deal. It has not come to the notice of the OSP that the SFO in the UK has reconsidered its decision. We consider it ties with our conclusion. Further action. A special prosecutor has directed the closure of the OSP investigation into alleged bribery of high-ranking Ghanaian officials by Airbus SE through intermediaries in respect of the sale of military transport aircraft by Airbus SE to the Republic of Ghana between 2009 and 2015. The OSP would not institute criminal proceedings against any person in respect of this investigation. The Special Prosecutor has also directed authorized officers of the OSP to rescind the 13 May 2020 warrants of arrest obtained from the Circuit Court, Accra, for the arrest of Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Feno. Earlier today, I sent out correspondence notifying Interpol of the withdrawal of the red notices in respect of Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Feno.
Let's take you to Parliament now, where the Speaker of the House, Alban Bagbin, has summoned Parliament to sit on Tuesday, September 3, 2024. This decision comes in response to a petition from the Majority Leader, Mr. Alexander Apenyo-Marking, requesting an urgent recall of the House to deliberate on government business. In his response on Wednesday, August 7, the Speaker noted that a careful review of the matters outlined in the request revealed they do not meet the threshold set by Article 112 of the Constitution. Mr. Bagbin noted that Article 112, Clause 1 of the Constitution empowered him to appoint the place for Parliament to conduct its business. He said he needed to weigh the broader context, such as the current logistical realities, to make an informed decision that aligns with overarching principles of good governance and democratic integrity. And on the foreign front, police held tear gas at protesters calling for President William Ruto's resignation in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, yesterday. Businesses in the city were closed and public transport vehicles remained out of the central business district where they normally operate. The demonstrations organized by activists upset with Ruto came as a new cabinet was sworn in. Following weeks of similar reform protests, the president had scrapped planned tax hikes and overhauled his cabinet to include opposition members. The demonstration started on 18th June with initial calls for legislators to vote against the controversial finance bill that included the tax hikes. On 25th June, demonstrators stormed Parliament after legislators voted to pass the bill, leading Ruto to say he would withdraw it. Now, more than 50 people have died since the protest started, according to the Kenyan National Commission on Human Rights. And Tanzanian authorities have initiated an investigation following the widespread circulation of a video allegedly showing a gang rape which has sparked nationwide outrage. Local media have reported that arrests have already been made.
Featuring a young woman assaulted by multiple men began to surface online on Sunday. Human rights organizations have been calling for swift action from the authorities. They assured the public that more detailed information will be released once the legal process is complete and urged everyone to remain calm. The Tanganyika Law Society condemned the incident, labeling it as a severe breach of both legal and societal standards. They criticized the continued online sharing of the video, stating that it only adds to the humiliation of the victim. The Legal and Human Rights Center has urged President Samia Suluhu Hassan to publicly denounce the assault, warning that failure to address such issues could lead to their increase in society. This incident is not isolated, as in 2019, several men were arrested in northeastern Tanzania following a series of gang rapes.
And it's now time for us to bring you the weather report. Like on the weekend, let's find out from our chief meteorologist, Felicity Afianyo, joins us live on phone. Good morning, Felicity. Fair weather for us today and the weekend.
Good morning, Mosete. And for the fairness, yes, yes, some areas to have just a cloudy weather, especially those of us over the southern sector. But then we still have some light rain or drizzle in there, but it's not going to spoil any of our outdoor activities. But then for our brethren over the north, we have ISO to scattered cases of rain and thunder for the weekend. Currently, we have some rainstorm approaching from northern Nigeria. We expect it to shift into Burkina Faso and then grazing over the upper east, upper west regions in about 10 to 14 hours time from now. So we'll be monitoring. If the impact will be great, we'll issue a weather warning for those over the northern sector. But tomorrow, same conditions is expected: cloudy weather with sunny breaks in the afternoon, and then light rain or drizzle, especially for the morning and the evening hours. Sunday to same. One of the pronounced features that we'll be looking at for tomorrow and Sunday for southern Ghana will be widespread mist and fog patches, which is likely to affect visibility. So motorists that may be using the road at dawn, they need to be careful, check their lighting system before embarking on dawn or dark hour journey. For the fisher folks, the weekend, the state of the sea will remain rough, so they should take precautions. Water Lake, pretty cool for fishing activities for today. By late afternoon, the storm we are anticipating is likely to induce some rain and thunderclouds over their area, but the impact may not be that great. But we issued our marine forecast for them in the course of the day. They should stay tuned to that. Temperatures will be between 29 and 31 for the afternoon. For the morning, we expect it around 20 and 22 degrees Celsius.
Thank you so much, Felicity Afianyo, for those updates. And when you're driving or riding at dawn, so be cautious out there. Good news for the farmers in the north as well. There's a storm moving in from northern Nigeria, and there's been talk about low rainfall in the north there. So some good news. But that's it for the weather report. Let's bring you the Lotto numbers, the winning numbers now. And on your screen, Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Excel Thursday are 29, 29, 67, 67, 25, 25, 49, 49, and 66. Again, the winning numbers for Alpha Lotto Excel Thursday are 29, 29, 67, 67, 25, 25, 49, 49, and 66. I'm Multi-Designer Sadiq. My costume is by Wegula. He's everywhere on social media. Up next, we're going into our usual Tech on Friday, artificial intelligence for studies, work, opportunities. King Kaf and David Jedu are bringing that to you. Stay with us.
Clinic and Prostate Center. Our goal in our open
In 2024, you are watching GTV Breakfast. It's now time for the Tech Corner. And our man from Cyber One Defense Communication is right here, David Jodu. David, what's up?
Hi, good morning.
You inside?
I inside.
I love the pinstripes, man.
Thank you, bro.
Looking really nice and powerful.
Good morning.
So today we're talking about AI.
Exactly.
And for studies. Yeah. Okay, all right, great. Right. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, thank you and good morning to everybody. So yes, as we all know, AI has been the topic of the day. Everyone is talking about it. It was AI, artificial intelligence, where we mean that now when people have to be long awake studying now, AI, artificial intelligence, computing is helping. Then time that you have to do high compu knowledge, mathematics now, AI is in there, artificial intelligence is in there to help you. So we're going to look at some of the tools, the areas, the sites that could help you wherever you find yourself in. Don't forget that in this digital economy, to be able to catch up, to match up, you need studies. And you can't do that without AI. So we are looking at how artificial intelligence could benefit you whilst you do your studies, right? So we should just move up. We already know this. This is our live thread map showing us what is happening every day, right? So Kav, let's start with this. I will start with this here. So, okay, so it's going to come. Right, so let me see here. It's going to work. Right, so on our screen is the cyber live threat map that's showing us what is happening per day, right? What's happening per day, right? So we're going to open the sites very soon. But to start with, we already know the ChatGPT, and this is so we have the sites there. It's also loading for us. Then we will know what is happening, right? So here we have this. It's loading. So here is for languages. This site is for languages. So Duolingo, if you want to really be able to come into the language, you want to study languages. This is one of the sites that we could use. Right?
Duolingo.
Yeah, Duolingo. I think is going to load for us. Yeah. Then the next one we could go to the next one here. So I think it's loading for us. So what we are looking at this morning is that we are looking at some of the platform that could help your studies, whatever you are doing in studies, it could help you. We already know the almighty ChatGPT that could help you, enhance your studies whilst you are learning. So whatever you want to study, you can just go to ChatGPT. The thing that will happen to you over there is that able to know what you are looking for and what you are searching. So platforms like ChatGPT would help you understand or will give you some of the areas that you are looking for. So assuming you want mathematics, areas to study in mathematics, or you want tools that will help you study mathematics fast. There are some students that they can able to learn fast, others cannot. So they have AI platform developed for you. So we have the Math Lab, to learn mathematics, the Photo Lab, or to learn mathematics, all those things. And we have other powerful sites that very soon we are going to share with you, Kav. So all that we're looking at how AI is going to enhance you and I in our studies, whatever we do. Over the previously, we've shared so many sites that is able to help you to be able to do other things. So today we're looking at it in studies.
How has it been helping you yourself?
Oh, Kav,
personally,
my experience with AI in studies has been very, very phenomenal. And I would say that I will always thank the AI system for coming, because now those that I have to sit all night, crack the brain to get something done, now AI gives me, and all that I have to do now is that to be able to see how I can link them together and make more business out of it. So AI is helping me in my studies, all the studies. And we've seen on a space whereby after graduating, people are giving thanks to AI. That should tell you, yes, those time after graduation, rather give the, what is called a certificate, we say, oh, this one, I'm giving it to my mother, my father for helping support my education. But now we say, ChatGPT, thanks for helping us.
After God and ChatGPT.
Yes, after God, ChatGPT, because if it had not been that, now research assistants and all these things, we have these platforms going to help us to do that, Kav.
Okay. Are there any dangers or any pitfalls that we must be aware of using AI for studies?
Yeah.
Isn't there the problem of, say, there's a word for it, that where people might think that you are copying other people's work to do your do your research.
Yeah, so if you're a masterminded person, yeah, so we have AI will develop it for you. We have other AI that will also translate it into an AI format, you know. So we have other AI platforms. So say ChatGPT has developed the proposal for you, and everyone is using ChatGPT. But don't forget that ChatGPT will not likely show the same result as everyone is showing to everyone, irrespective of you typing the same thing. But the point here is that if you are a fan of AI, when I see a report being done by AI, I know it's an AI English, you know, because it gives you it has some kind of English format that it uses. So we have other AI platforms that you could use to check. Example, maybe you've written ChatGPT, you can use Grammarly. Right, Grammarly, you can use the paraphrasing tool to paraphrase some of the paragraphs so that it does not look as if a computer generated, right? So we have Grammarly is very important. Grammarly helps you when you write good English and you are not able. Those time I'm writing a book out, and I should have contacted editor to edit it from, but now I just put it into Grammarly and it means actually this your grammar does not match, it is not computer English, write the good English, and it will just give me the options.
So Grammarly is the editor now?
It's editor now, that's the truth. And sometimes I know these are for students, sometimes the lecturer will tell you that don't copy this from the internet. They will copy from the internet and they go to platforms like paraphrasing tool. They paraphrase it and then it gives them kind of it changes it for them, so if they are not able to detect. But with all that, we still have AI platforms that could detect that this article or this research work was done by AI. But the important thing here is not about who did it, it's about the content and the output of it. So if I'm researching on elections or cybersecurity and my output is on point, you don't look for who developed it. Since I can reference some few things, I'm okay and I'm good to go. So if you're looking at in studies, I know now the kids are home. Instead of we, the parents, open Netflix for them, YouTube for them, we could now enhance them using these AI, artificial intelligence platform that will help them. We have a platform like, I wanted to open it, that is a Woo framework, Woo frames, right? It gives you all in terms of science, physics, you know, all those engineering
subjects. Yeah.
It's subject by subject Woo frame. So it's going to help you understand. For me, there are some subjects or some particular subjects in schools that I never understood it till now. But with the help of those ones, I go there and understand why photosynthesis was photosynthesis. You understand? Because it's giving me more clarity and understanding. So I see AI as an adapt tool to help your education. However, the dangers here is that it's making some people not be able to think. But for me using AI to now, AI is rather making me think more deeper. Because
I think you need to know how to write the right kind of questions.
Yes.
You must know how to, because it will only give you what you put in.
What you put
so
in.
if you put in a better kind of question, you get a better response.
And even after the response has come in, right, people just copy and paste it like that.
You can refine it.
Yes. So I think the BEC just wrote, I think they just finished writing it. I think the last year, WAEC came out to say that almost some students use AI in helping them. We did that story. And what it is that is that the kids were not so smart that whatever AI provided them, they copied that and put it in there because of time. So they said that as AI, I recommend you do A, B, C, D.
And then they copied the whole thing.
And they copied the whole thing.
But they were not even supposed to have phones in the exam room.
That was the question we were asking.
Yeah, so double trouble.
Yeah, that was double trouble. So the point here is that AI is in there helping you study more, able to do more businesses, you know. So I believe that the AI thing is a change, you know, in terms of our education. You see, one thing that we should also note here is that now I said this and I keep saying that after COVID, you know, there was a revolution, there was a revolutionary change, and it changed everything, every aspect, whatever we are doing. It affected our education, it affected everything. And so we cannot be there learning the same thing for a long time. Now the world is changing. We are moving up, and we need to also abreast ourselves with this new enhancement. And then we also appeal to the schools that now most of the schools are using internet for researching. They should rather also engage them in some of the good AI platforms that will help the kids, do more studies, and you yourself as a teacher, it could also help you do more things.
What are some of these websites that you can remember off the top of your head that will be helpful to people for their studies? You talked about Duolingo for languages.
Yes.
ChatGPT is like
ChatGPT
the King Kong.
Is a King Kong. I spoke about the Wolfram. Yeah, that would also help you. I also spoke about the Grammarly. That would also help you. We have a platform like Sana. Sana is for managing your research proposal and all those things for business, and we have a couple of them, right? And the last time too, we spoke about the Tini Wow. The Tini Wow, that would also help you. You know, sometimes you have format in Word, or there's a proposal, research done in Word, done in a PDF, you want to convert it, there's a password protected, all those will solve it. So these are your game changers. And if you want to also get more knowledge on AI stuff, there are platforms that we share with you like Coursera, like ALS, you know, all these platforms are there. And don't forget our favorite master planner, that is the Digital Defined, you know, Digital Defined, that you could also get a lot of resources over there to kind of help you.
I'm sure that when we go to your social media, you will have a list of all links to all the websites.
Yes. So what we're going to do to help you is that we're going to list them according to communication, researching, mathematics, you know, all the areas, nursing, health, you know, science. We're going to list all the AIs that's going to help you. And trust me, these are some of the best AIs that we have used before. I won't come and stay here to say something that I have not engaged with. Whatever we do, our research team works on it before we come on TV.
All right.
So these are some of the things we do to help our people, Kav.
I thank you very much. What's Cyber One Defense Communication doing with respect to the training that you give?
Yeah, so Cyber One Defense, we also have training facilities. For there, we're currently doing free computer training and cybersecurity skill development for kids on Sundays. It's still ongoing, and we've started our Teen Cyber. And so if you're on our social media, it's a boiling point, you know, for Teen Cyber. The kids that we train them are now competing on cybersecurity, internet safety, and computer programming. And also the people of Sunyani, DK Cyber and Cyber One Defense will be in Sunyani. That will be on the 24th, 25th. We are in Sunyani, so you know you have to be ready for us. We are meeting Sunday. We are meeting the NAS, the entire NAS in Sunyani. So those are some of the things that we have on our plate, and there are more to come, Kav.
We wish you the very best.
Thank you.
All right, that's David Jidu from Cyber One Defense Communications, and giving you all the juice as far as AI and studies are concerned. Still to come on the show, we've got Violin Boy from Strings to Your Soul. We've got the conversation on in-laws, a test of love. We have our female panel for their headlines. And of course, there's Social Media Corner at 7 o'clock and Sports at 7:15. There's a conversation on breastfeeding that is happening right after this segment. So you stick around. This is GTV Breakfast. Don't go anywhere. UNICEF and the Ministry of Health, as well as civil society partners. What's it all about? We'll find out on the show. We have two wonderful people from the Greater Accra Regional Hospital right here at the desk. Dorcas Oklu Aham is a midwifery officer, and sitting next to her, closest to me, is Ophelia Adai, who is a nutritionist. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to GTV Breakfast. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Good morning to you too.
Awesome. So, midwifery officer, you see a lot of mums and young, fresh babies. How important is breastfeeding for mothers and babies?
Breastfeeding is, first of all, thank you very much for the question. Good morning to you and then to your viewers too. Breastfeeding is very, very, very important to the mother and to the baby, even to the family and then the nation as a whole.
Really?
Yes, please.
To the nation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
All right.
Breastfeeding, first of all, creates a bond between the mother and the baby. When the baby latches onto the nipple, it establishes the skin-to-skin contacts, and that establishes the bond. It protects the baby against diseases like diabetes, obesity, infection, like the ear infection, which is common among children. And it also protects the babies against allergies. It contains all the necessary nutrients that the baby needs. And also, it also helps the baby to have a normal weight throughout the growth.
Okay.
Breastfeeding is, for the mother, it helps the mother it protects the mother against certain cancers. It reduces the mother's risks of getting certain cancers like ovarian cancer, breast cancer. It's also a form of family planning. We have something we call LAM, lactation amenorrhea. When you are breastfeeding the baby exclusively for 6 months, and you don't add any, you don't sneak and then give the baby some fluid or food or other things, it would stop the ovaries from getting released. When the ovaries release, that's when you have your menses. So when you are exclusively breastfeeding, it stops the egg from getting released for you to get your menses, and then you get pregnant. That's when ovulation happens, you get pregnant.
So you're saying that if you're doing exclusive breastfeeding,
for 6 months,
you will not menstruate for those 6 months?
No, exclusively. Okay. You don't add any fluid, any food. So it's a family planning method. But after 6 months, that family planning method expires.
Green light, you can go.
Yes, and because it's a family planning method, it helps to space out children.
Indeed.
Yes,
Indeed.
so you would have enough time for the baby, give the baby enough love and then attention. And then it helps the mother to return back to her pre-pregnancy weight.
Okay.
You know, best when you are pregnant, as the pregnancy advances, you tend to eat more. So after you delivered, it's when you are breastfeeding exclusively, it's a form of exercise. It burns the calories, and then the mother returns back to her previous weight.
Okay.
And as I was saying, for the family, it helps to save you, the men, your pocket money. Because when the baby is breastfeeding, as we said, it lowers the risk of getting certain diseases, as we talked about. So you don't have to send the baby to the hospital all the time. So what happens to your money?
It stays in the pocket for other things.
Yes, for other things. It's even strengthening the love and happiness in the house. If mommy is sending baby to the hospital every day, you, the father, you'll not be happy because you are removing money. Mommy too will not be happy because she's worried about the baby. Yes, but when you are breastfeeding, it stops all those things. So you see something as little as breastfeeding, the way it goes. Yes, it goes a very
benefits to everybody.
Yes,
How about the nation?
And for the environment, it's friendly to the environment. The breast milk is not parceled in any bottle. It's not parceled in any container. It is in the breast. So you don't dispose cans and then things about that is bad for the environment. And then for the nation, mothers that are working for the government or this place, for example, when her baby is sick, what happens? She has to get some sick days off. And then maybe if she's playing a vital role here, who fills that spot? Then that means the production has to hire someone else, pay extra money. So you are wasting money.
All these benefits on just...
Yes. And then the government, instead of increasing our tax so that our national health insurance, we are taxed with that. Yes, if a lot of babies are getting sick, government pumps more money. So that money can be diverted into other things like developing roads and then building schools and other places. So we see something small like breastfeeding goes a very long way.
You're a great teacher. You've broken everything down really nicely. Thank you very much, Dorcas. Now, Ophelia, she was talking about nutrition. So what exactly is inside this breast milk that is so nutritious for the baby? What is inside?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Okay, so basically, the breast milk contains all the essential nutrients the baby needs for the first 6 months.
Like what? What are they?
So we have vitamin A in there, we have zinc in there, we have antibodies in there, we have iron in there, we have calcium in there, we have protein, we have carbohydrates, all the essential nutrients the child needs for the first 6 months to grow. We have all that in the breast milk. So there's no need going out there for any other formula feed or any other feed to feed your baby. All the nutrients the child needs to grow in the first 6 months, they are all in there. As I mentioned, all of the vitamins, the minerals, that's like micronutrients, and we have the macronutrients, so they are all in there for the child to grow.
So it's a superfood for baby?
Yes, please. It's superfood.
Can you give a baby too much breast milk?
No, there's nothing like you're overfeeding baby. There's nothing like that. So the breast milk, as I said, contains all the nutrients. So what you have to do is make sure you're positioning your baby well, you're attaching your baby well.
What is the correct position? What's the correct position? I wish you had a dummy baby here so we could see.
Okay. But to add up to what she was saying, when it comes to the nutrients, you know that when the baby suckles, okay, it sends messages to the brain, and then the brain releases 2 hormones. It signals 2 hormones to be released. That's the prolactin and then the oxytocin. The prolactin causes something in our breast we call alveoli. They are like tiny sacs. Okay, that takes nutrients like protein, sugar from the breast, from the blood supply, your blood supply, the mother's blood supply, and then forms the breast milk. This breast milk contains something we call lactose. Lactose is very, very important. It helps good bacteria in the baby's digestive system to develop. And this good bacteria fights off bad bacteria, viruses, and then parasites. It helps the baby, supports the baby's growth. Mentally, it shapes the baby's brain and then nerve tissues, and then provides the baby with higher energy, which helps the baby to develop new skills. And that cannot be found in breast milk, other breast milk substitutes, only in the breast milk.
All right, thanks for that. Back to you, Ophelia. So you've told us what all the macro and then micronutrients are, and that it's not possible for you to overfeed the baby. So baby, it sucks on the breast milk for 6 months, and then are there any protocol? I mean, how nutritious is express breast milk that has been frozen?
Okay, so
Is
as
it
I said,
vastly different from?
No, there are no difference. Okay, so as I said, all the nutrients are in there in the breast milk. Even when you store them in a deep freezer or in the normal fridge, you still have all the nutrients in there. But it also depends on how you, the mother or the caretaker, takes care of this breast milk that
Give
has
us
been
some good tips. Yes.
Okay, so as a working mother, I'll be going to work after my leave months. So what do I have to do? I have to prepare myself. So what basically you have to do is make sure, so the first 3 months, from 0 to 3 months, the brain is more relaxed, your body is more relaxed because you have a lot of people around you, your loved ones taking care of you. So all that you have to do is just relax yourself. You'll be able to express more. My sister said something about prolactin and oxytocin. So what the brain does is, it's more relaxed during that time because our loved ones are there. So you're able to get enough milk, breast milk. So you express, you store in a deep freezer. So we have something like breast milk storage bag. I will express, store it in this breast milk storage bag, put it in a deep freezer for 6 months. In a deep freezer for 6 months. In a normal fridge for 72 hours. In a normal room temperature, you can store for just 6 to 8 hours. So if I'm about to start work from 3 months, 4 months going, it's the store milk that is in the deep freezer or the fridge. I'll just bring it out, leave it for it to thaw or melt. Then I'll put it in a warm water. It still has all these nutrients that you were talking about. All the nutrients are in there. It's not going anywhere.
How do you prevent baby from burning his or her tongue?
No, so you put it in a warm water, just warm, not hot water. You don't microwave, just warm water. And then you put it in a cup, you feed baby with it. That's simple as that.
That's it?
Yes.
You're good to go?
Yes.
Okay.
All the nutrients.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, she
okay.
said it all.
All right. So does the quality of the breast milk change when mommy is taking medications?
There are certain medications that we don't. That's why we preach against over-the-counter drugs, because there are certain medications that passes through the breast milk and then can affect the baby's development. You know, when baby comes out, baby is still developing, brain and then everything is developing. So when you have a problem, you have to see a doctor or a midwife to prescribe a drug that will not harm the baby. So yes, if you take over-the-counter drug that can harm the baby, yes, it can change the quality of the breast milk.
Okay, I'll come to Ophelia shortly, but just even before baby comes out, is there anything mommy can do to prepare herself for breastfeeding duty?
Yes, she can. We have something we call breastfeeding classes, where the mother and then the father are...
Classes?
Yes, okay. We do. And then mother and then the father or the family are taught techniques, how to position, how to hold the baby, how to achieve an effective latch so that the baby can get enough breast milk, so that there's nothing like, oh, the breast milk is not coming and then the mother has to give up and then go to other breast substitutes. So all these things are taught. Food that you can take and then for to get enough breast milk, all these things are taught. Okay. So by the time the baby is out,
it's ready.
Yes, it's ready.
Ophelia, what's the best food for encouraging breast milk flow and quality?
Okay, so I remember from the start when Sister said something about the hormones that helps to create the breast milk. You see, it's not what the food that you eat that produces the breast milk. It's actually the hormone in your brain that helps with the production of your breast milk.
Okay.
So we don't have a specific food you have to, but we call something maternal nutrition. Right from onset of the pregnancy, you have to eat balanced diet, taking a lot of fruits and vegetables, the vegetables especially, your carbohydrates, your protein, they are all very necessary. So after birth, we still do the same maternal nutrition because whatever you're eating will enrich your breast milk. So if I'm taking vitamin A supplements from any of the food sources, there's vitamin A in the breast milk, so it will only enrich it. So that is that. Okay.
What about those who baby comes and then the breast milk is not flowing? What's the cause?
So can take it. With that, especially at your age, we go to ward rounds. We help them express. We teach them how to go about that. So we have a typical example like, my breast milk is not flowing. I gave birth 3 days, 4 days ago. What do I do? Okay, just apply something like shea butter on your breast. Try to massage it. And then you put a little pressure on your areola. You can see that the breast milk is...
What is the areola?
So the darker parts of your...
Where you have those interesting dots?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That's the areola.
Okay.
Just put a little pressure there. And then you express. You can see that it's coming.
Okay.
And sometimes you do warm compress, as I said. Just your face towel, you dip it in the hot water, you put it on your breast. It's easy as that.
Okay. How about there's pain? Can mummies have pain, that your breast feel too heavy or there's pain?
Yes, when the mother does not achieve an effective latch, as we said. An effective latch is when the baby, some people give just the nipple to the baby, and that can cause sore nipple, cracked nipple, and the mother will not be able to give the breast to the baby. And
but is that not where the milk is coming from, the nipple?
No, the baby, when we say effective latch, the baby has to take the nipple and then almost half of the darker part.
The darker part.
So the baby's mouth must be something like this, like L shape.
Okay.
So it must not be like them.
Okay.
Like,
there will be pain.
Yes.
So it has to latch onto.
Yes.
Onto the areola.
Yeah. When you achieve that effective latch, there wouldn't be pain. And then when there is pain, there's the cracked nipple and then the sore nipple, the mother will not give the breast milk, and then that can lead to engorgement of the breast. That's what causes the pain.
Okay.
Yes.
Just talking about. So can you breastfeed if you've had maybe implants? Some people put implants to make, I don't know, make the breast bigger. I don't know. And say you had even surgery. Can you breastfeed?
I don't think so. I know a lot of people who have had implants. When they get pregnant, they take it out. Okay. Because it's no good. It has its own disadvantages. Like there can be, those things they can cause they are a risk for bacterial growth. And then when there is bacterial growth, it can interfere with the breast milk. The bacteria can go into the breast milk, and then when baby sucks it, baby can get diseases.
Problems.
Yes.
Ophelia, so breastfeeding is done, and now you're going to introduce solids. Is there a way to go from breastfeed to eating cocoa and other things?
Yes, please. Okay. So exactly 6 months, the breast milk, the nutrients in it depletes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we start with our complementary feeding. So we start with the porridges. Okay, so I said something about how to express and store breast milk in the deep freezer or the normal fridge. So the expressed milk can also be used to mix this porridge for our babies. Okay, so exactly 6 months, you have to start giving other family foods, the available ones around you. You have to start giving those ones to the baby because the nutrients in the breast milk has depreciated.
Okay.
It's not sufficient for the baby. That's why we start with the complementary exactly 6 months.
Was it abnormal for a baby to be drinking breast milk even at 1 year, one and?
No, it's not. It's even up to 2 years.
You can still be drinking.
Yes, but then you add what she's saying, the complementary feeding to it.
Okay.
So with the complementary feeding, you know, every baby is different.
Right.
My baby, when he was 6 months, when he sees me putting something in my mouth, he wants to taste it. So he was eating everything. But there are some babies who don't like food. So you, the mother, you have to get patient. You don't have to compare your baby to other babies. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated.
Okay.
You start when the baby is happy and you, the mother, you are calm so that you can have time. You try maybe 1 teaspoon at a time. And we like cereals and then proteins, like carbohydrates and proteins. When it's meat, you have to puree the meat. That we have to blend it to be soft.
Blend the meat.
Yes, so you can give 1 teaspoon. If baby takes it, 2 teaspoons another time. If baby rejects it, you try, and then later you start adding the mushy ones, maybe for texture, because baby must not be used to one food.
No.
So when the first one is successful, then you introduce another one. So the banku, the fufu, and everything. Yes.
Go to Joy and all
Yeah.
Okay, before we go, what are your top tips you can give breastfeeding mummies about breastfeeding, from the point of view of a nutritionist?
Okay. So right from onset, the pregnancy, we call something maternal nutrition. It's very, very important. Make sure you're taking a balanced diet. You're taking enough fluid. After that, after giving birth, you ask your midwife or your doctor, can I put my baby to breast? It's very important because we call something jaundice. Right from birth, if you're not able to give the first breast milk that comes out, it can also cause jaundice. That's the cholesterol. It's very yellowish. So make sure you're giving that with the support of your midwife or anyone around you. You give that to the baby. And then after you've been discharged, whoever is in the house helping you, at least talk to them. Try to express. If you're a working mother, try to express and then store enough in the fridge so that after every day you're going back to work, you make sure that there's enough food for my baby to take.
Alrighty.
And then exactly 6 months, we continue from that with the IYCF or the complementary feeding.
Thank you so much, Ophelia Adai, who's a nutritionist at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Doc, has your one tip before we go?
I want to tell the pregnant mothers not to succumb to pressure. And pressure, it can be direct and indirect. At home, your mom, your in-law, give the baby water. The baby is thirsty. The breast milk, we have 4 milk, which quenches the baby's thirst, and then the high milk, which is highly fatty, and then satisfy the baby. And then indirect pressure, you see someone giving breast milk substitute, that's the formula, and it is nice, it looks nice, it's like they are rich people. So you want to also copy that lifestyle. You are disadvantaging your baby. We are giving your baby so many diseases. And then the pacifier, please, they are not good. They can spoil the baby's teeth. Yes, dentition. The baby will have problems with have dental problems in future. So please, let's not succumb to those direct and then indirect pressures.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oklu Aham, midwifery officer at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, here with Ophelia Adai, nutritionist in the same place. Thank you so much. Mummies, you don't know more than God. You cannot tell, let the women breastfeed. Okay, let them breastfeed. Let them breastfeed and give the baby what they need. Thank you so much. I'm glad me and my brothers, we rejected any food that wasn't breast milk for a long time. We just look at mommy like that and then we spit it out. Give us the breast milk.
One thing, the breast milk is not for the men, it's for the babies. So men should leave the breast alone.
Men, leave the breast alone. The breast, well, not leave the breast alone, but the breast milk is not for you. Okay? Go ahead and touch your breast, but don't drink the contents. It's not for you. Next is Social Media Corner with Valerie and Jay, who was a real fan of breast milk back in the day. And they're going to be talking about the trends this morning. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
It's Friday, and so we're excited. Very, very excited.
Oh, it's the end of the week, isn't it?
Yes.
We don't understand why Monday to Friday is longer than Friday to Monday, but it is what it is. The world is such as it is. So.
It's Friday. TGI people.
TGI.
Welcome to the show. My name is Valerie Danso.
And I am Jay Gabra.
Okay. So, top on our trends, the OSP is trending. Yeah. Former President John Dramani Mahama is also trending because in the trends, John Dramani Mahama has been freed of the Airbus scandal. So I'm going to read that bit, exactly what's happened. But here's the screenshot. So yesterday, this screenshot was trending everywhere on social media.
Mahama was...
So former President John Dramani Mahama did not receive bribe or engage in any corrupt practice in relation to the purchase of 3 military aircraft from aerospace giants Airbus. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has concluded. And so this is the video. This is at the point where OSP actually said it. And so we are sounding up now.
Upon which to conclude that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, and Leanne Sarah Davis acted as conduits of bribery between the employees of Airbus and former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Also, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemis, and Leanne Sarah Davis received payments from Airbus with the intention of bribing former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Further, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani...
Yes, so that scandal is all over now. You remember back in the day when this case came up and it seemed like the person number one at the Jubilee House was President John Mahama, so it became a whole issue, and now he has been cleared of all those charges as well. That was coming from the OSP, and yesterday it's like it reminded me of the ambulance case when the minority leader was also released, and then a whole lot. Yeah, interesting times, isn't it?
Interesting times, yes, indeed. And so this is why the OSP and former President John Dramani Mahama are in the trends and were in the trends.
I'm sure they'll discuss it in depth during the headlines.
Yes, the headlines. Yes. T and the ladies will be doing that.
They'll be doing it justice. They'll chew it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to some other news that was trending yesterday. So yesterday there was a joint operation by the CID and NACOC. And so 242 sacks of marijuana was destroyed. It was destroyed.
This has been confiscated between 2020 and now, and they burnt all of them up at the beach. And I'm just praying and hoping that when they were burning it, somebody didn't stand as close to
it. So it's at the Osu Beach. We should probably go and keep an eye this morning there and see what's happening there.
Probably it has finished burning. I don't want to go and stand close, and I'll come higher than usual.
So NACOC and CID have burnt 242 sacks of marijuana, 16 kilograms of cocaine, and buckets of heroin as part of an effort to clamp down on production, sale, and usage of narcotic substances in Ghana. And this move is also part of a broader strategy by law enforcers to break down the criminal network involved in the trade of illicit drugs in the country. So the substances were seized on the high seas between the period of 2020 and 2024.
All that we're going, yeah.
Yep. And so this happened, the burning happened at the Osu Beach. Alan, you and Alan should be keeping an eye there this morning, see what's happening to the people who live around there.
Okay, yes. So we're moving on to Paris 2024. A lot of people breaking records and everything. So we move to our postmodern man, who is in the person of Leslie Teboko, who won the 200-meter sprint. He surprised Noah Lyles, the American, who came in third. So that's him in your show right now. He made Olympic gold history by being the first person, African, to win the 200-meter race. So Leslie Tebogo wins the men's 200 meter in 19.46 seconds. He becomes the first African to win gold medal in the men's athletics event. The Botswana sprinter breaks the African record in the 200 meter sprint. Hashtag DTV Sports Plus. Yes, so Leslie, congratulations to him. He's chilling, you know. You're looking at the first African ever to win gold in the men's 200 meters at the Olympic Games. Leslie Tebogo, hashtag GTV Sports. And you know, he has this cool demeanor about him. So Leslie Tebogo's mom died following a brief illness in May this year. The Botswana sprinter dedicated his 200-meter Olympics gold medal to her.
So, like, that's really, really emotional.
Yeah.
You know, losing your mom and then having to come to the Olympics and put in your all. So, congrats to him. And on the back of that...
we have a press conference where he was asked the question as to what does he think about becoming the face of the Olympics, the 200-meter athletics of Olympics, and this is his response.
I think for me, I can't be the face of athletics because for me, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or a loud person.
And maybe
and loud
So I think it was misconstrued. Maybe the meaning didn't come up properly.
But when he said loud, so to what's happening on the internet, so when he said loud, Noah, this is Noah's entrance onto the pitch, people. This is how Noah got onto the...
This is what
which is really, really good, though.
Allow Leslie to become the first African to win Olympic gold in the men's athletics. So, at least he won't go for 100 meters, so we can have that. Yeah.
So, apparently, he also had COVID. So, you remember how he came onto the tracks? So
this is how he left. This is how he left. And so, before...
you can understand why Leslie was saying loud and arrogant. So, this is him.
Yeah, but before he could even jump and juice it up and everything, he releases a statement that says, first, I want to thank God for getting me through this entire Olympics. Second, I want to congratulate Tebogo, Leslie, and Kenny Badnerick, and everyone else on an amazing Olympic 200-meter final. Finally, I want to thank everyone for the supportive messages. I believe this will be the end of my 2024 Olympics. It's not the Olympics I dreamed of, but it has left me with so much joy in my heart. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Whether you're rooting for me or against me, you have to admit you watched, didn't you? With a winky, one-eye wink emoji, and then see you next time. So this is coming from Noah Laos, his account, after he was diagnosed with COVID.
So you know how, over social media, he's been getting backlash for his speech and how arrogant he is, and so people are really going at him for that. Yeah,
but at least we still watch the games and see what you want. We did watch it. And what
happened to the Ghanaian team?
Oh yeah. During the 4x100 relay, the changeover between the third and then the last person, we delayed in the changing, so we're disqualified. And so even though we made good time, we didn't qualify for the next round. It was I remember Benjamin was the second runner, made very good pace, and he handed over. But the third one and the other, I'm sure sports will come up with,
Akosi and her team will do that. Yeah, so shorty.
Unfortunately for us, we didn't. And we are still on the Olympics, and this is some intriguing Olympics history for you. The longest marathon ever. You remember It's a very emotional, touching story. I don't know why I giggled.
Well, yeah, it's very emotional. It's a true story.
It's the duration of the race. But anyway, you see what I mean.
So in the spirit of the Olympics.
Yeah. Had to borrow a bike from the Germans. And so this is coming from S.A. Loviness account, where she says, due to the short notice of me competing in the Karen and Sprint, #Team Nigeria, I had no bicycle to race with on the tracks. In the spirit of sportsmanship, the German team the German team came to my rescue by offering me a bicycle. Thank you so much. And so this is coming from S.A., the Nigerian cyclist who was saved by the Germans. And these are the comments from social media. Holy Man says, when you think you've reached the end of bad things happening to you, that's the point. Nigeria says, nope, you can go no further. Crying emojis, and he says, I'm not crying. And then Omolomo says, thank you, Team Germany, but Omo, which kind of country be this, for Christ's sake? Yeah. And then Demagogy PhD says, Makachi, Nigeria is a weapon. Hey, Makachi, Nigeria is a weapon fashioned against its citizens at this point. Wow. And so these are the comments coming in. One of their, did you want to pronounce that name? The last name I saw.
No, I did not. No.
But one Nigerian senator by name of Senator John also came and gave a feedback as to why the incident happened as it is. Yeah.
So what's the backstory? So the backstory is she got a wild card, so she didn't know that she had qualified. She got to know at the last minute that she had qualified, and apparently the Nigerian Federation didn't know whatever. So she went there hoping that she was going to get a bicycle.
Yeah.
And then out of pity and humanity, sportsmanship, Germany came through for her and they gave her a bicycle. So that's the backstory to the lady on the bike that's trending wearing the Nigerian outfit, colors at the Olympics 2020.
Unfortunately, this is all time will allow us for the social media corner this morning. We have to go straight to sport for us at Studio 5. Thank you for staying with us this morning.
Country by country. And so let's go into it to talk about what is going on in sports. So far as our update today is concerned, once again, my name is Akosia AJ, and former CAF president, that's Issa Yahatu, has passed away at the age of 77. His death was confirmed by close associates who served alongside him during his tenure as president of the Confederation of African Football. According to reports from Cameroon, Hayatu passed away on Thursday in Paris. Hayatu's leadership in African football spanned nearly 3 decades as he served as the CAF president from 1988 until March 2017. His tenure made him the longest-serving leader in the history of African football. In 2017, he was succeeded by Ahmad Ahmad. In addition to his role at CAF, Hayatu briefly served as the interim president of FIFA from October 2015 to February 2016, following the suspension of Sepp Blatter. During his interim leadership, he oversaw the FIFA elections that brought the current president, Gianni Infantino, into office. A spokesperson for the Confederation of African Football paid tribute to Hayatou, stating, "We have lost a remarkable leader, a man who devoted his life to the advancement of football in Africa. His legacy will continue to inspire us as we strive to further develop the sport on the continental level." Hayatou's contribution to African and global football will be remembered as part of his enduring legacy.
The sport. He served as the president of the Confederation.
Camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and former Kotoko striker Francis Andy Kumi has made a surprising move by signing with Mediema SC, the former Ghanaian champions, ahead of the upcoming season. This transfer comes as a significant blow to Hearts Folk, who were on the verge of securing the forward's signature just 48 hours earlier. However, Mediema, known for their strategic player acquisition, swooped in to secure Kumi on a 2-year deal. Kumi's previous stint saw him score 9 goals for Kotoku Royals in the 2022-2023 Ghana Premier League season before moving to Serbian side FK Radenek Nes after a brief period with OFK Vask in Serbia last term. Kumi returned to the Ghana Premier League as a free agent. Kumi had a short spell at Bechem United after leaving Kumasi Asante Kotoko in August 2022 before signing for Kotoku Royals in January 2023. His addition to Mediema's squad is expected to bolster their attacking options as they prepare for the Ghanaian League and the FA Cup competitions. Premier League season will be starting soon, and according to Isaac Amwakon, he's optimistic of Mediema's chances in the upcoming season.
Our philosophy is based on the team's direction and team's philosophy. So the goalkeeping department, our main objective is to, uplift the goalkeeping department. We give it a facelift and also try to make a very good impact in the league. So my philosophy is to, train good talent for the club Mediema. Goalkeeping department is going to have a very special training that will, bring out good talent for the club. Goalkeeping, the technical ability is one, physical abilities, movements in the poles, a whole lot. Goalkeeping is a very broad department, so we are going to touch every aspect of the goalkeeping. So like I mentioned earlier, we have to tackle on their mental. You have to psych your goalkeepers to put them in a very good frame of mind for the game. As a goalkeepers trainer, you need to motivate your goalkeepers. Sometimes you need to create a very healthy competition amongst them. You see, the goalkeeping department, our position is always one. When one is keeping, the others will always wait for their turn. So as a goalkeepers trainer, you need to encourage everybody, and you need to always prepare very good side, very good goalkeepers for a game. So my ambition is to create a healthy competition amongst my goalkeepers and always try to encourage them. If one is playing, the others should wait for their turn. By so doing, you keep working hard so that when you are called upon, you won't find yourself wanting. Sisi no me ba ye no team na mama hu team ne target say I was here to Major League this season. You know, me main target ni say me prepare goalkeepers at the end of the season, you know. Now your team consider less goals and help the team to win games. So that is my major say I want to prepare na me build a department always the goalkeeping department can be relied upon. The American media supporters and they say my admirer from afar.
And to some other stories, and Allyson Felix wins athlete election at Paris Olympics to join the IOC as a member. The 7-time Olympic gold medalist Allyson Felix won an election yesterday to represent athletes at the IOC for the next 8 years. Felix is a retired United States printing great, got 2,880 of the 6,500.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
of Kevin Kimpton, the Kenyan long distance runner.
You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Okankwe North borders areas such as Tesano, Akwetema, parts of Abofun. You also have Achimota, and you have finally parts of the south border towards the La Paz end of town. And if we're going into Okankwe North, what are some of the areas we want to look at as far as our election dashboard is concerned? We're looking at demography, the dynamics in the number of people there, who does what. And in demography, you have a very hugely dense population, a mix of both young and old, and then you have the gender ratio, as always, is skewed towards women. There are more women in the constituency than there are men. And age, the average age is between 19 and 35, being youthful, and that is what you have for the Okankwe North. We're looking at housing, a mix of private and public housing. What you can get as far as public housing is concerned is perhaps zero, but for private housing, if you can afford between 600 and 1,800, then you're likely to have a single room self-contained, that kind of housing. And then we have the challenge is that the youthful population can't easily dole out 6 to 1,800 to get themselves a place. So it's either one gets the other pitch, or you put together and you go cohabit. Let's move on. We're going to youth unemployment as well as youth employment. Economically, there is quite a huge economic activity scattered within the constituency, and you have jobs, private mainly are the kind of jobs you'll find. The employment rate within and among the youth population is one that is relatively average, not completely out, but you have some huge numbers unemployed among them. Youth programs to engage the youth in terms of acquiring skills and being available for jobs. There isn't that much, though politicians will tell you they're working towards getting the youthful population doing something. Education, you have the Achimoto School, which captures both basic and second cycle education. Parts of the bordering towards the Ayawaso West Wogon means that you can either go to Gimpa or University of Ghana if you so desire and so qualified to go into. Literacy rate, average is the literacy rate within the constituency. The challenges, as always, healthcare, access to healthcare, waste disposal is still a challenge. And recently, we have seen some work going on the Abofu Bridge. That huge drain that goes under it is going to be reconstructed. Let's look at more about infrastructure. I'll always mention, public recreation. There isn't. There's the Achimota Golf Course. If you can afford it, go play golf. Sanitation is still a problem within the constituency. And then we have crime and security. Due to unemployment rate, crime is at least on a steady rise, but we're still hearing something is being done about it. Environmental issues are still persistent. Let's look at their voting behavior and their voting patterns. Healthcare, I mentioned earlier, there isn't a public healthcare facility within the constituency. However, there are private facilities, and so if you can afford it, by all means. The NHIS is accepted by some of the facilities within the constituency, not all of them though. The common health issues, diabetes and hypertension, prevalent within the constituency, and so you need to check your diet, watch what you eat, keep fit by doing, going on a walk, exercising. And then let's look at the voting behavior. Since 1996, the constituency has voted a certain way. They've always voted blue, but would go green because we live in an economy where you have to go blue and, vote blue and go green. So Okankwe North has voted since 1996 for the NPP. There was a slight shift in the 2020 elections where they decided not to maintain the color, and so they went for Theresa Awuni, who is their current MP. The huge battering, as evident, was in 2016, where they gave a whopping 55.1% vote to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Let's look at their parliamentary behavior. And this is what they've done. Once again, in 1996, 45% of their vote went for the NPP, though the NPP boycotted parliament in 1996 elections. And then another one you must also look out for is the parliamentary behavior in 2020. They decided we're no longer going 54.14 blue. They went 51.74 green. And that is how come the Honorable Theresa Ladi Awuni became the president. They switched from blue to green. It makes it also one of the constituencies to look out for, because they have shown by that one singular act that you can't predict them. They vote according to what they feel, how they feel, and what they understand. And so if you're a member of parliament or if you're a PC looking for their vote, then this will not always happen for you. This is where we wrap on the election dashboard. Look out, because your constituency may be next. My name, as always, is Darrell Alan Tego. I hand over here to the young woman who is this morning so excited and playing a very typical Jamestown tune. It's Homo anyway. It's Homo. No, it's actually Homo.
Went by. And now to the headlines.
Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, Daily Graphic. New gold refinery opens. Vice President demands responsible gold sourcing.
Airbus scandal. OSP clears Mahama.
AG appeals Atoforsen. Jakba acquittal.
Soon can NDC sneak through supposed cracks in MPP?
$155 million coastline restoration project launched.
And that's your graphic for this morning, 9th August.
Yes, a daily guide. 5 million Airbus scandal. Mahama is government official 1 SP.
The 2.37 million ambulance case. AG appeals Atoforsen and Jakba acquittal.
Nana Katsor for Adentan Dodowa Road.
Ghana gets gold refinery. Picture there of the vice president.
Yeah, successful SOEs must thrive on transparency, accountability.
And UMath student wins Miss Geek 2024.
Geek.
All right.
Nice.
Geek on fleek.
Yeah. The Chronicle says Airbus scandal. Government official is Mahama, but OSP exonerates him.
School feeding program goes digital next month.
Kufuor breaks ground for Adentan Dodowa Road dualization.
The Vice President, MPP flag bearer, commissions Royal Ghana Gold Refinery. And our verse for today is from Psalm 17, verse 2. Let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen. That's your chronicle right there.
Wow, the Daily Dispatch looking very red. Top elected officials should not meddle in commercial transactions. OSP on Mahama's role in Airbus deal.
The police will only arrest someone with fake news having national security implications, IGP Dr. Dampari says.
Focus on Nigeria's current wahala on economy.
And that's your Daily Dispatch. This morning, the new finder.
Prioritize domestic investment alongside foreign direct investment. Ofosu Dote.
Airbus scandal. It seems Mahama is not guilty, says Ajabing.
SNIC touts positive strides in recent years.
And Foley says SOEs must thrive on transparency, accountability to succeed.
Okay.
That's your finder. Yeah. And those are the headlines.
Yes,
you're having a conversation on in-laws.
Yes.
Later on.
Test of love.
The test of love.
What is your experience? What are experiences with your in-laws? Please let us know, good or bad. Our socials are active on 055-556-134 and across social media. So just look for the hashtag GTV Breakfast. You find us.
All righty.
Half later, you're having a conversation
with Violin Boy. Some good music and some stirring of the soul through the string. So that's something for you to look forward to. We're going to throw it back to the ladies.
Hasta la vista, Thelma.
Yes, indeed. Bye-bye.
on It's Still Breakfast live on GTV. This is the headline segment. You've seen what the front pages of the papers look like. The ladies are seated and they will be interrogating some of these stories with me. Na Atwe Niyokpe is a member of the National Communication Team for the NDC. I'm introducing you as such for the very first time at this table.
And proudly so.
Na, welcome back.
So. Thank you.
Charlie, some check draw?
No, it's not even about check. It's about the ills of society and an attempt to reset this country. Because until that reset happens, the tangent this country is going under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, it won't augur well for our collective good.
Okay. So, Na is speaking for the NDC this morning. Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim is a member of the Interim Steering Committee of the CPP. And she... Interim Independent Committee of the CPP. Hajia, good morning. Welcome back to the table.
Thank you, my dear.
And I will introduce also Tabitha Ayela, who is a member of the National Communications Team for the NPP. Tabi, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, we'll start with what's on everybody's mind this morning. CPP matters.
Oh, yeah, CPP matters.
A flag bearer.
Good morning to our cherished viewers out there, especially my chairman, Wing Commander Sobojo retired, and the able team that are making sure they put things in order for CPP to go to Congress. You are asking of flag bearer. Flag bearer, we are putting a flag bearer. But I think some people don't want us to contest the 2024 elections.
Some people?
Yes, some people, yes. So they are throwing courts injunctions on our faces.
Your own
everywhere, yes. Those who don't even pay dues. But it's getting to election, you know. It's like a marketing strategy, you know. Some people want to go and be collecting their gari somewhere. So they think they will negotiate with people so that we don't field a presidential candidate. If you have issues with your party, you do it internally. You don't go to court. I, like this, was thrown with a court document yesterday. I refused to take because my name is not just Hamdatu Ibrahim. My name is Hamdatu Ibrahim Hussein. As I introduced myself, isn't it? So if I have a lawyer in my house, my son who is a lawyer, then I, excuse my language, foolishly take a document that doesn't have my right name. Don't you think it is something else?
You see, these are internal matters. And when the CPP wants to front itself as a viable,
sure,
what we've come to call,
but you know, you see, let me tell you, Talma, if you have hair lice in your hair, and you pretend nothing is happening, then you go to the salon and you end up cutting it. You end up cutting it.
So you are being truthful, admitting that they are
truthful. Me, I'm not a politician who is economical with the truth too. That is not my style. Going forward, yesterday we started vetting. We are going to continue today. We are going to present, when we finish the vetting, we'll present the reports to the interim committee, who will look at it and see the one who warrants to lead the Convention People's Party. So those of you who are saying the CPP is not going to present a candidate must sit up.
Right.
We are not going to negotiate that.
Now, in green, speaking for the NDC, what's on your mind?
And so, Thelma, what's on my mind is JM's vindication. But like you stated, we will go into that matter pretty shortly, and so I wouldn't dwell on that. But I'm sure by now you followed that a certain individual has petitioned the IGP to actually unravel the authors of a certain Japan document. And this morning, I'm sure that in the interest of accountability, Ghanaians are not bothered about who authored the said document. What Ghanaians are bothered about this morning is how the implementation has gone word for word in the said document. How a certain mafia group has actually captured Ghana, and then Ghana runs on their interests and just as they wish, not in the interest of the masses and not in the interest of all of us. Aside that, I'm sure by now you've also followed that the Attorney General has appealed the appeal court's, ruling on the acquittal of our leader in Parliament, the Honorable Kessiel Atuforsin. Let me put on record that without being prejudicial, just maybe the Attorney General is readying himself and his office for another embarrassment.
That's
because
another story we'll be looking at.
The facts remain that if you go to court and say you have very cogent reasons for going to court, you don't coerce an accused person. You're actually prosecuting me and come begging me hand in hand to still give you evidence that don't exist, to actually prosecute, and let me use the word persecute, an innocent person. We'll get there.
We will get there indeed, and we'll have that conversation about the AG petitioning the Supreme Court over the ambulance case involving former Finance Minister Dr. Cassiel Ato-Forson. Tabitha, speaking for the NPP, what's on your mind this morning?
Good morning to you and to all viewers across the length and breadth of Ghana. This morning, I'm very happy to know that students are in school and none is being asked to go home. And I'm also happy that everywhere is lit up and Ghanaians have the opportunity of weighing the political parties in Ghana to see who best fits to continue to rule this country. I think Ghanaians are not interested in any emotional tantrums this morning. I think Ghanaians are ready to listen to a political party that has a message, a political party that has their best interests at heart, a political party that will look at difficulties and face them and make sure that the right things are done. And so I'm delighted and I'm happy with the trajectory and the way my government is moving and steering the affairs of Ghanaians. So that's what is on my mind this morning.
Thank you for your initial thoughts. So that's what's on the minds of Hajia, Na and Tabitha. Our top story, which broke yesterday, the OSP held a press conference where it read out its findings on that controversial Airbus SE bribery scandal. In that press conference, he did admit that indeed, as had been alleged before, former President John Mahama is indeed government official one. However, he says that he found no evidence, the Office of the Special Prosecutor found no evidence of wrongdoing in that particular scandal. Almost all the papers are carrying it, and the graphic says former President Mahama did not receive, bribe or engage in any corrupt practice in relation to the purchase of the 3 military aircraft from aerospace giant Airbus. And the investigative report found that Mr. Mahama did not allow the high offices of vice president or president to be used for corrupt practices during the negotiations for the purchase of the aircraft between 2009 and 2015, while no public officials involved in the aircraft purchase were found to have also engaged in any corrupt act. But the opposition insists that it is not a total exoneration. Today's edition of the Custodian newspaper says that indeed there was no exoneration and that the special prosecutor's claim that there was nothing to show that former President Mahama received bribes is inaccurate when compared to the evidence presented in court in the US and the UK regarding the conduct of Airbus in selected countries, including Ghana. So I'll pick the thoughts of my guest pretty shortly. On the phone lines, we've been joined by an expert, and he will be sharing some thoughts with us. We'll get that confirmation on who it is a bit later. Can I start with Hajia, with you on this matter? You monitored, I'm sure, proceedings at that press conference.
No.
25-page document read by Mr. Kissie Jabing, going into the details of what they found in their investigations into the Airbus purchase. What were your thoughts?
Well, you asked whether I followed proceedings yesterday. No, I didn't follow because I was busy with my vetting yesterday. But I can only speak on what I heard on TV or radio.
Okay, so let me just refresh your mind and give viewers also an opportunity to listen to some of the things that the OSP said. We carried it in our news earlier on, but it's now time for us to hear what the OSP said. These are some of the salient things he said in that press conference yesterday.
The OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and its associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former president. While the accepted facts in the two foreign jurisdictions are that the employees of Airbus designed the payments to the intermediaries as bribes intended to court favor with Ghanaian public officials, especially ex-President John Dramani Mahama. On the other hand, the intermediaries appeared to expect and receive the payments as their legitimate expectation under an arrangement of success-based commissions for the sale of the military transport aircraft to the government of Ghana. And their actions, in whichever way viewed, were calculated as businessmen expecting their lawful paychecks and not as conduits of a bribery scheme. The OSP has cited and notes that by two separate communications, both dated 22 April 2021, the SFO in the United Kingdom notified Samuel Adam Foster and Philip Sean Middlemas that a decision had been taken not to prosecute them for any offense in respect of the Airbus Ghana deal. It has not come to the notice of the OSP that the SFO in the UK has reconsidered its decision. We consider it that it ties with our conclusion. Further action. A special prosecutor has directed the closure of the OSP investigation into alleged bribery of high-ranking Ghanaian officials by Airbus SC through intermediaries in respect of the sale of military transport aircraft by Airbus SC to the Republic of Ghana between 2009 and 2015. The OSP would not institute criminal proceedings against any person in respect of this investigation. The special prosecutor has also directed authorized officers of the OSP to rescind the 13 May 2020 warrants of arrest obtained from the Circuit Court, Accra, for the arrest of Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Feno. Earlier today, I sent out correspondence notifying Interpol of the withdrawal of the red notices in respect of Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Feno. The OSP has no evidentiary basis upon which to conclude that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, and Leanne Sarah Davis acted as conduits of bribery between the employees of Airbus and former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Also, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, and Leanne Sarah Davis received payments from Airbus with the intention of bribing former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official. Further, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official was paid bribes by Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, Philip Sean Middlemas, and Leanne Sarah Davis in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. Then again, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official was induced to improperly favor or did improperly favor Airbus in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana or military transport aircraft from Airbus. In the case of Sarah Feno, she should not even have been a subject of the OSP investigation.
Special Prosecutor Kisia Jabeng speaking at that press conference yesterday. Haja, so this is a refreshing of your memory.
Yes.
In case you missed portions of his delivery yesterday.
Yes, that's the issue of Special Prosecutor speaking, isn't it? But yesterday when I was listening to, should I say, commentaries and what have you, I picked something from one lawyer who questioned the special prosecutor. That what surprised him when the government official one was mentioned and he was identified, the special prosecutor did not even question the person that who is closer to him, and he was rather wanted to manhunt people who were outside the jurisdiction. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's the special prosecutor who initiated the investigations, and he has come out to say that the people that maybe were allegedly to be bribed by the Airbus scandal, he doesn't see the reason why they should continue. Who am I to say anything? That's the special prosecutor. But you see, I don't know what that particular office is doing. You know, they keep on putting us in some kind of suspense before you realize we can't do this. And it's part of wasting our money. That's how I see it. With this investigation, you go here, you go, how many? Since 2000.
There's an allegation that 3.5 million euros was paid in bribes to Ghanaian officials, and that's a lot of money.
Yes, but then the American courts alleged that, isn't it? That there were some money. But now he's saying that those people that they are alleging that collected the money did not do that. So where did we get that figure from? So now where are we going to? Yeah, I'm a bit confused about this. Yesterday when I was listening, I said, what is this?
You heard the part where Mr. Jabeng said he did speak to former President John Mahama.
Oh no, I didn't.
So as part of the investigations, they will
then
speak
maybe
to
the lawyer who also was called by a television station, was it a radio station that I was listening, maybe did not also get that part.
That part.
Yes.
As part of the investigations, the presumption is that all the parties who are being investigated will be questioned for the purpose of fairness.
Oh, then that is why I'm saying the lawyer they called yesterday, which means did not also pay attention to the press conference, like the way I was not privy, the entire press conference, because he was questioning that I'm raising the concerns he raised. You see, I think it's a running kind of debate between these two political parties. So even though, can't you see that they've already started arguing since yesterday in the night? Since yesterday, then they've started. For me, what the special prosecutor has said, he was investigating. He said he hasn't found anything. So, I'll leave it there.
Tabitha, your team and
I'll leave it there.
The friends in the NPP have been very vocal about this particular matter, insisting for many years that indeed,
even still insisting,
former President John Mahama had done something wrong. Now the OSP says he has looked into it as petitioned, as presented in a petition before him, and he finds that there's no case there.
Okay. So, sorry. You see, this is a classical case, and I would like Ghanaians to appreciate it in all its, all the shapes that it appears. You look at it in one direction or in one phase, and it looks as though the OSP is no longer doing the bidding of the president.
Should he do the bidding of the president?
No, that is what our opponents have been saying, that he is a clearing agent for the president, and that whoever is sent there, the person is cleared, and it is by the president's instruction for him to behave in such a manner of clearing people of any crime. Isn't that what they always say? When they go to court and they lose, they always claim that those judges that are appointed are being appointed by the president, and so they are there doing the bidding of the president. Now, we had another case where Ato Forsen was exonerated and was acquitted and discharged. They were all happy and celebrating and jubilating. This one too has come. They are happy and jubilating. I'm only praying that they should continue to have that good spirit. They should continue to have that faith in the institutions and structures that exist to handle our matters, so that on the 7th or on the 8th of December, when the president of Ghana is declared, and that president is mentioned to be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they should take it in good faith because they should trust the system to do the right thing. We are all seeing the victory of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and nobody can change it because we are talking about a competent leader and one that has proven so far to be incompetent.
The OSP is talking about a former president who was alleged to have taken bribes using his brother and a group of his friends.
I'm coming there. I'm just trying to set the tone because this hypocrisy must stop. When it doesn't go your way, you run the judiciary down to the extent that you call them a October. This is the kind of opposition we are dealing with. And so I'm equally happy for them that their leader is being set free. But let's not be in a haste.
Set free?
Yeah, because for now, we can say he's been set free of that scandal.
So you admit that he has done no wrong.
Domestically, let's not be in a haste. That's why I said let's not be in a haste. Because there was a court of competent jurisdiction that said there was a man called, or an individual called, Government Official 1. And the OSP in his message...
A man was referred to as Government Official
1, yes. And the OSP confirmed that the Government Official 1 is John Dramani Mahama. And he also admitted that he doesn't have all the facts that was given to the court for them to arrive at that declaration.
Which court? The Ghana court
or
the US
the foreign
and UK
one.
Court? Okay.
And so let's not be in a haste to celebrate his exoneration because he is still not cleared. He is still carrying that legal disability on him until he goes to contest and frees himself from that government
from the US and UK courts. So it's not
if
just
he
a Ghana
has
battle.
evidence, because according to the OSP,
listen. I just want us to educate ourselves and Ghanaians.
Sure.
You insist that if the OSP has exonerated former President Mahama and he thinks that he's truly innocent, he needs to go to the US and UK court.
Yes.
And
cure
his
himself
defense
of
there
that
again.
legal disability that is on him. Because whether he likes it or not, out of Ghana, he is known as a corrupt leader.
But you are asking us to trust the systems and the institutions
But
and to
what
trust
do you
that
want
they will
me to
do
say?
what is right.
What do you want me to
So
say?
in that vein,
You
are
know,
you suggesting a
but
mistrust
you know,
of the
I know we'll
institution
be discussing this
of the
one
office
too,
of the
because
OSP?
the AG is going back to court.
That would be...
Yes, so it means that it's possible to go back. And let's not forget, that's why I said that he admitted that he doesn't have all the evidence to pin the man to those crimes. But he also admitted that the foreign court had more information than him. And so, what interest will those foreign courts have that they will call Government Official 1 as a corrupt individual?
But you do admit that in that international trial,
Another thing,
Airbus only admitted that it was engaged in, it had overlooked attempts to bribe persons. It did not necessarily say that person A, in this case, Government Official 1, identified as former President Mahama, or his brother, or the other accomplices, were the ones who directly received the money. The ruling suggests that it was for the general entirety of the alleged bribery by Airbus, and not the alleged bribery of
without
Airbus
excluding Ghana.
Okay.
Without excluding Ghana. Now, they will smear him if he doesn't have anything on him. Let's not forget that it is an intelligent court that made that verdict.
If Interpol had a case, could they have come to question former President Mahama and the rest by themselves? And if they had been found to have done anything wrong, couldn't they have taken them on at that level?
At that level, they cannot prosecute Mahama.
Interpol cannot prosecute. The U.S. court, if it presumably found him guilty.
The knowledge I have, I am limited to this knowledge, and I want to believe that.
Just like the OSP was limited to this Ghana knowledge.
They don't have that power to even prosecute him. And let's not also forget that per the Constitution of Ghana, I have forgotten the article, but you see, even if he's found guilty, he can't be prosecuted.
Why not?
Because he's protected.
By what?
By the Constitution.
That's why I said I have forgotten the article. I would have quoted it for you. I think it is Article 56 something. I've forgotten. Okay? Pardon my limited knowledge in the law, because I'm not a law student anyway.
Wrap this up for me.
I'm still learning it. And another thing, in her intro, she made mention of Ejapadie. And I felt so disappointed in someone who is talking without evidence. And I think that, look, the president's family should start prosecuting people, making allegations against them without evidence. You sit here and say they call your former president a corrupt leader. Meanwhile, you are sitting here and speaking to an information that you are not privy to. Let's not forget that in that same book you are referring to, they identified your own government official one as a drunkard. Is he really a drunkard? It is in the book. You can refer to it. So let's be careful to, concerning what we talk to, what we believe and what we don't believe. I am a child of the Bible. And I believe that you don't just take anything hook, line, and sinker.
Tabitha, that will be it for now. Now, you've listened to your friend from the other side, making a strong case for why we should not be too quick to jump on the jubilation wagon to believe that former President John Mahama is indeed innocent of all charges that were leveled, or the allegations that were leveled against him. Why should we believe that, and why should we not believe that?
Thank you, Thelma. You engaged Tabitha here for 12 minutes, so I'm sure you do same.
12 minutes?
Yes. And so I'm sure you do same with me. The time is
8:11. 7. So,
by the way, now this morning, I'll start with Ajia. Ajia says an American court alleged that, please, courts don't allege. No court ever alleges. You submit your evidences to court, and the court decides whether they will uphold same or quash same. Let that be noted.
Did I say allege?
Yes.
Court alleging. Maybe it's a slip, because the court doesn't allege.
Okay.
They give us the final distance or not.
That's all right. That's all right. And then Tabitha has gone on and on about the fact that someone is being emotional. John Dramani Mahama is cleared domestically and internationally. Don't allow people like Tabitha to come and sit on this your platform and misinform and disinform people. So at a point you were even confused. Everybody in the studio was confused, and she was even confused. But these are the facts of the matter, and so if you indulge me, I'll run you by it. That John Dramani Mahama is a former vice president, a former president, and has subjected himself, right, to investigation by a statutory institution.
That was sent to them by the president.
President
Akufo-Addo asked for the investigation to be done.
And then today, he has emerged squeaky clean, unblemished, incorruptible. That is the man, JDM. Let Tabitha know that when she was talking, I didn't giggle. I do this better. And so, if history should repeat itself sometime soon, when a former president or another former vice president is asked to subject himself to a state institution for investigation, let not anybody say that anyone is being fair. Let that be established, Thelma. Now, I'll run you by President Mahama's final public engagement after he lost the 2016 election, and quotes on what he said. If you indulge me, I'll read. He says that, I have done my best, and done so with the best of intention for God and my country. I will allow history to be the judge of how I have served the nation. Thelma, vindication is indeed in the womb of time.
Don't you think that when the OSP says he whatever he did with good intentions, now, there is a window there to look into that statement to say something untoward may have happened?
Thelma, there is not a door, talk less of even a window. Let me run. So what I'm saying is that President Mahama has been a victim, right, of lies that have been intentionally fabricated, right? Now, do you remember that some months back, I think about a year or two back, the president at a bar conference said on authority that President Mahama is corrupt, he's the government official one, and what have you. But just recently...
He wasn't the first person to say that former President Mahama was government official one.
But you see,
former special prosecutor Martin Amidu made that same case.
No, so you see, in the case of Akufo-Addo, he says President Mahama is government official one and is corrupt. And that is where their corruption tag started from. But the same Martin Amidu you are referring to has told us who the kingpins of corruption is in this country. If you don't know, I'll refer you. And has told us who the mother serpent of corruption is. So, ride with me. Recently, the president at a certain disinformation conference says that, and he's being under, people have churned out misinformation about him and was crying all over the place. But he's forgotten that he has become notorious for churning out misinformation and disinformation. And in this case, standing at a bar conference to say that President Mahama is GO1 and so is corrupt. Now, Thelma, when President Akufo-Addo instructed his secretary, right, to write to the office of the special prosecutor to unravel the truth in this matter, was the instructing to unravel who government official one was, or to unravel whether or not any acts of bribery, corruption-related matters has been committed in this Airbus scandal? And so the task given to the office of the special prosecutor was one. Was there any corruption or corruption-related offense? What the office of the special prosecutor has established is that the man, John Dramani Mahama, has integrity. His integrity has stood the test of time.
What the NPP is saying is that because the OSP did not conduct an actual investigation into the original Airbus matter, which was investigating. So Airbus is the one that was supposedly paying bribes in a number of countries, including Ghana. The argument from the NPP side is the OSP did not conduct the actual investigation and so cannot be a source of information. And Tabitha referred to it that it did not have the benefit of all the information and so cannot say that a bribery had happened or had not happened. I believe that's what Tabitha is saying.
Thelma, if you say the OSP did not conduct any investigation,
I'm
telling you that President Mahama has subjected himself to investigation, and you are telling me the OSP did not conduct an investigation? I stood here, I sat here and I'm telling you that President Mahama, a former vice president, a former president, has subjected himself. And the office that he subjected himself to has come out to say that the man John Dramani Mahama has unblemished character.
Even if Airbus itself came to agree that it attempted to pay these monies as an, the correct word is to gain or induce or reward improper favor.
To who?
That's the quote that was used.
To who? What has been established? To who? The fact of the matter as we have now is that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, right, instructed the secretary to write to the OSP. Unravel if there are corruption cases in this matter. OSP says there is nothing of that sort. And so, where from the fact that there is a window domestically, don't allow things like this on your platform. Now, you see, Thelma, now what we know is that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo instructed his secretary to write. Secondly, his complaints are solely based on, maybe, like you say, judgments from the courts that says there is a certain government official one, right? Now, ride with me also and let me remind you that the basis of President Akufo-Addo's instruction to his secretary is the fact that a relative of John Dramani Mahama is part of this government transaction. Let's establish that one. And so it is fair to say that a criminal process can be started against any government official or his relative simply because I am in government and my relative has had the opportunity to do government business, then a criminal process should be started against the person.
If now the establishment is that indeed it was the Mahama brothers who were involved in this, is that a fair thing to say?
What about the Mahama brothers?
We've been talking about politically exposed persons and how they play into provision of services for the country.
The special prosecutor have withdrawn the red alert put on them, and I think owes them an apology. and says that even also for a third person, the person should even never be a subject of this investigation. Finally, let me land.
Sarah Davis, the OSP said.
Indeed. Let me land on
now,
this.
can I put you on pause for a minute? You have 2 more minutes to finish your submission, and I will give them to you. The spokesperson for former President John Mahama issued a statement yesterday on her thoughts about this findings that were made public by the OSP. Ms. Joyce Bawa-Mukhtar is joining us on our phone lines to lend her voice to this topic. Joyce, thank you for making the time and welcome back on the platform. We just talked to you last week about the Mahama campaign and how it's doing. What kind of effect do you think this report or the OSP's findings will have on the campaign going forward?
Well, I'm surprised that you're also waiting to speak to me when you've actually had Beatrice on the phone all this while, speaking to pretty much the same issues. But all the same,
is here speaking for the NDC.
Good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. Let me very quickly indicate, without any fear of contradiction, that I told you a few weeks ago that we are completely focused on an issue-based campaign. You know, 2 years ago, I put out a statement when this matter first reached its ugly head and indicated very, very clearly and to the understanding of each and every fair-minded Ghanaian citizen that John Mahama was available, that he wasn't going to be able as a person to investigate himself, but that he was able and willing and ready to avail himself of any opportunities to investigate this matter of the Airbus scandal. Indeed, you also recall that I even indicated in the same interview that Mr. Mahama is a man who loves Ghana, a man who is incorruptible, a man whose integrity and credibility will eventually be stated to be unparalleled, that one day history will judge Mr. Mahama as a true citizen of Ghana, a fair-minded man, a leader who cared a little bit more than most of the leaders that we have currently. Indeed, Ghana has set a very, very, very bad precedent. I have observed over the years, and this is since the days of Jerry John Rawlings, that presidents, when they succeed each other, have actually struggled even to level certain accusations to or against their opponents or predecessors for that matter, or even their successors, that there has been a certain convention of utmost respect for one another. Well, that was until the advent of President Akufo-Addo and his Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I am particularly disappointed that this far they haven't come out even to say anything. This thing had actually become a political weapon that they will use every few months, every few days, every few months to discuss and denigrate the NDC and our leader. You see, the law is not an art. And the law, as I say, will grind maybe very slowly, but eventually justice will be done. In this matter that was handed personally by President Akufo-Addo to the Special Prosecutor's Office to undertake an investigation, it wasn't meant for the good of our country. It was meant as part of the political gimmicks and chicanery that has characterized this current administration, where the former or the first OSP told them categorically that Mr. Akufo-Addo should avoid chasing this matter of the Airbus scandal and focus on the corruption in his own administration. Are we saying that Mr. Akufo-Addo has not heard, or that he hasn't seen, or that he hasn't read all the stories about graphs that are currently being bandied about day in and day out?
Madam Joyce, may I ask, the NPP representative at the table has tabled a suggestion that if the former president is indeed as innocent as the party claims, and you all claim, then he should subject himself to the same, if you say you offered yourself to be investigated, he should offer himself to be investigated in the US and UK where the Airbus bribery scandal happened. Is that something former president could consider his spokesperson?
Can I just come in and maybe not to sound like a lecturer, but to state that the law is not in the minds of an NPP person or an NPP communicator. That the law, as we say, is in the bosom of those who know the law. And that in the US in particular, Airbus very quickly admitted and settled. In the UK, in the course of the investigations, Airbus quickly admitted and settled. You see, in other jurisdictions, the law works as it should. And so that matter, as the UK court said and the SFO told them initially, should have been allowed just to remain that, a record. In the UK and the United States of America, law works and works very well. They don't use them as personal weapons. They don't use them as partisan weapons. They don't use them as individual attacks on
So then the
persons.
question is, if the law works there, why should we not take their findings?
It is the reason why here in Ghana we have so compromised our judiciary and judicial processes to the extent where we struggle even sometimes to accept rulings even from our court. This is the sort of conversation we ought not to be engaging in. You are not smarter than the US court. We are not even smarter than the UK court. Indeed, the Ghanaian courts have many individuals who have come from these jurisdictions and currently working with and for them. So don't say that they were in the UK and the US. No. They had reasons why they investigated Airbus. It had nothing to do with Ghana. And go back to all the countries that were mentioned. Malaysia was one of them. Go and find out if they are so discussing this matter as we are doing here. We are nitpicking. This will not put food on the tables of Ghanaians. This will not reduce our public debt of 742 billion. This will not reduce the level of hardship that is engulfing the good people of Ghana. This will not stop us from being unable to pay pension bondholders what we owe them. We heard our finance minister apologizing, for example, for the hardship, for the high inflation, for the challenges to do with the economy. My sister, let's focus on the things that really matter. Mr. Mahama is not Mr. Akufo-Addo's competition or competitor. Mr. Mahama was born on his own. He came into this world with his own destiny. He's a citizen par essence like everybody else. He contested for president and won. There may have been issues with Airbus, but we have come out with our special prosecutor indicating clearly that he cannot ascribe any wrongdoing to John Dramani Mahama. And indeed, that after investigating the matter as he was asked to do, Mr. Mahama stands exonerated. If you want to fight the law, you want to go to court, please do so. Feel free to do so.
Thank you.
We are all students and advocates of the law.
Thank you for speaking with us this morning. Kind regards to the campaign team of the NDC. Madam Joyce Bawah-Mokhtari speaks for former President John Mahama. Now, I still owe you 2 minutes of your submission, and then I'll give a minute each to your colleagues here to make comments on your submission, and then we'll move on to the matter involving Dr. Castle Atuforsin, businessman Mr. Jakpa, and the petition to the Supreme Court. So 2 minutes, and then we move
And so, Thelma, I was making a point that a criminal process or proceedings can be, started on the back of the sole fact that a relative of a high government official has been involved in government business. That is what President Akufo-Addo wants us to admit. That simply because a government official is involved, a relation of a government official is involved in any government business, then there may be corruption or corruption-related activities.
But for the avoidance
then,
of
course, let me avert your minds and the minds of our viewers to the 34.9 million ambulance spare parts scandal, right, of his own daughters. If he so feels that by the involvement of relations, then there would be corruption, this is where it should start from. If he so feels that there is a loss or someone is running the public purse down, then he should start prosecuting himself and members of his government for digging the world's most expensive pit. If he so feels that, of course, someone has caused a loss and somebody must be prosecuted, then, of course, he should go ahead and start, to persecute people of his administration who instructed the Bank of Ghana to print for them over 70 billion Ghana cedis for reckless spending. But to land on this, let me tell the good people of Ghana that President John Dramani Mahama's integrity has once again been established. It has been reaffirmed. And the only thing the good people of Ghana intend to do is to reward this integrity of John Dramani Mahama come December 7th by massively going out to vote for him, so that we'll reset Ghana, so that we'll rescue Ghana from state capture, we'll rescue Ghana from the vindictiveness, we'll rescue Ghana, from the reckless spending, we'll rescue Ghana from the backward trend that Ghana is going towards.
Hadia. Okay.
That's right.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm giving you a minute. You've listened to both sides. Your good friends have spoken. The spokesperson for the former president has also lent a voice to this conversation.
For me, this as a special prosecutor, he has started an investigation, isn't it? And he has come out to tell the good people of Ghana his findings. So we'll leave it there.
Do you think former President Mahama needs to, exonerate himself from the US and the UK courts as well?
Well, that is maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't want to veer into that. That is for NDC to decide whether maybe their leader can do that.
Okay.
It is not.
A minute to you as well.
Yes. So Thelma, you see, the truth of the matter is that you can't be a president of a country and then you hear some allegations being made about your country internationally, then you sit aloof. The best you can do is to investigate to find out why my name is in the public domain on a very bad note.
For the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. And someone was named to be government official one. And I said it and I'll say it again. He still carries that legal disability. He has to exonerate himself. If not, a court of competent jurisdiction found him guilty and named him,
why you allowing this on the platform? Which court of
government
jurisdiction
official
found Dramani Mahama guilty?
because
leave that to me.
No, so Thelma, you have to correct her. Don't allow her to misinform your lady. Don't ever do that.
Nobody is misinforming anybody.
Don't
You
do that.
sat here and you lied about some money.
Tabitha, hold on.
You sat here and lied.
And so
But
now
I keep quiet. Now can you just be a lady and keep quiet? Can you be a lady and keep quiet? Keep quiet whilst I make my submission. Okay?
Give the
you
facts of
were
the
here
case I
saying a lot
have.
of things.
Then you sit
You
there and say
cannot tell
someone
me
is
what
being
to say on this
emotional.
platform.
See who is emotional.
I'm not being emotional.
I think the minute is up.
To put you to
the
where
minute
you are
is up.
supposed to be
I'll
kept.
take no more comments
You
on
seem to
this
lose your way.
Airbus scandal matter.
see,
Tabitha,
that's
I think you've
quiet.
lost the time that
No,
was given
I
to you.
didn't
Now,
lose
if you
it.
have a problem with
See,
anything,
it's
address it
affected.
to me.
And
I
that's
will
why I'm
tell
saying that,
the
Thelma,
guests
don't allow
accordingly.
Tabitha to
I'll
misinform
take
your
the
guests.
final comments of all of you on the matter with regards to the Supreme Court petition. The Supreme Court is being petitioned by the Attorney General's office on the matter regarding the former Finance Minister, Dr. Castle Atu-Forson, and I'll pick their thoughts on that before we rise from the table. I want to hear what your thoughts are on what we've discussed so far. Our WhatsApp number, 055-55-61034, 055-55-61034. What do you have to say about this matter, the OSP making his findings clear to the public? CAF is at the screen and will read some of your thoughts. Now, these are your thoughts and other thoughts of GBC.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Former President should honorably step down as the leader of the NDC as he is now unmasked as Ghana government official one, despite the supposed exoneration by the OSP in the Airbus scandal. The NDC needs a clean-to-earth leader now, says Kingdom Glory. Kwesi Amwani, he says, okay, we're not talking about roads, we're talking about Airbus. Okay. Let's see.
Scrolling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone is welcoming you back to the show. You guys are just insulting people left and right. I don't like that, you know. So I'm going to read any messages where there are insults.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to. When I see the kind of strength and force exerted by the NDC panelists in defense of this Airbus scandal in favor of JDM, I laugh. If there's no problem somewhere or Mahama is unblemished, why the struggle? If you say Mahama is not corrupt, even the heavens will curse you, because no Ghanaian president can exonerate himself of corruption, not even former presidents Kufuor or Nkrumah. So let the NDC panelists sip some water and relax, because create, loot, and share of Ghana's purse is evident to all well-meaning Ghanaians. Okay. All right. So there's too many long messages. Keep them short. We really can't read very long stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, I skipped all the insults because that's not why we're here. So I'm taking it back to you, Thelma.
Yeah, I always say let's try and keep it temperate. We are having an intellectual discussion. If you find that there is something you disagree with, then say that in a polite way, but do not use words that will become unbecoming of this platform. We are respectful people. You know, Ghanaians, we tout respect. So if there's an issue, say it nicely, and then we will address it as brothers and sisters. We all want this Ghana to work. That's why we are here. So OSP, still the topical issue at the table. I believe we have one last excerpt of his press conference yesterday, which you think you should hear about. So here is OSP once again.
The OSP interviewed former President John Dramani Mahama on 5 January 2024 in Accra. On its own, the OSP located and interviewed Samuel Adam Foster, Philip Sean Middlemas, Leanne Sarah Davis, and Sarah Ferno outside Ghana in March 2024 in the presence of their counsel. Don't ask me where and how we found them. I'll tell you.
Thank you for that, Haja. That was for you, the part where he said he did speak to former President John Mahama. And you see, my two sisters almost, but the point is that now Tabitha has a right to make her point, and you disagree, and you also have the right to register that disagreement. Na's point to you, Tabitha, is that the court in the US and the UK did not find former President John Mahama guilty of receiving bribes in this case. It found that Airbus had paid bribes to certain officials in some of the sale of military aircraft. So there was no guilty verdict by the US and UK courts to say that. I believe I've made Na's point to you. So now we move on. I'll pick your final comments. I'll pick your final comments.
Countries that they realized that they received some bribes from the Airbus company. And another point that we need to make clear is that the said person who was pinned or picked to be the lead is government official one.
And the OSP says there's no evidence. So let's move on.
Established that
Supreme Court is being
Mahama
petitioned.
is government official one, and also established that he doesn't have enough evidence.
Tabitha, I'll take that as your final
so let's
comment
put
on
that
this matter.
across.
I'll give everybody a minute to talk about the AG's appeal to the Supreme Court to reverse the Court of Appeal decision to acquit and discharge Minority Leader Dr. Castle, Atuforsen, and businessman Richard Jakpa from the ongoing ambulance trial, which has been in court with the allegation that the former finance minister in Jakpa caused financial loss to the state to the tune of 2.37 million euros in that deal. So AG says it is not satisfied and that the verdict by the Court of Appeal does not hold water. They think that they made enough case and they want a relook at the ruling to acquit and discharge the minority leader. Haja.
Yes, I'm not a legal brain, but I just want to ask a question. Maybe if you go to court and there's a 2-1 verdict, I think you have the right of maybe seeking for, is it a review of the...
So it's within the rights
of the AG to do that. And if it were be 3-0, I think even that one, he has the right to...
So even if it was a unanimous decision,
yeah,
right. Okay, let
I
me
think so. So I think it is in the right direction. It's an ongoing trial, and in fact, I'm very, very interested.
It was ongoing until the ruling by
until the ruling. But you see, if really we are losing 2-something euro, I read somewhere that the company wanted to pay us the money, and then the AG sort of
I haven't seen that report.
So I think we want to ask more questions for answers to be addressed to the good people of this country.
It looks like the minority leader may have to be back in court to face these extra or to wait for the decision of the Supreme Court on whether or not the appeal will be upheld once again. Are you ready for that?
And so, Thelma, let me establish that as at...
You only have a minute.
As at last night's counsel for Honorable Kesel Atuforsen and Honorable Kesel Atuforsen himself have not been served this notice you are issuing. But to say that, why not? Would meet them at the Supreme Court. But then you see, at the Supreme Court, there is no new evidence that the Attorney General is to bring.
You believe that this is enough and you win that?
You see, the evidence available is that you went to court without evidence, and then you are pleading
in a decision that was not unanimous.
Hand in hand for Mr. Jakpa.
So
to
someone thought there
support
was a
you.
case.
Tamale, make my point. For Mr. Japa to support you, to lie, someone you are prosecuting, right, for a crime. You go on to tell the person that go and commit extra crimes so that we can put Honorable Kesela Tuforsin in jail.
I'll give.
And then his seat will be rendered vacant. There will be a by-election. We'll buy votes in that constituency.
Allegedly,
and then what?
all these.
Didn't you hear?
I'm not.
Thelma, what are you talking about? Didn't you listen to the audio?
Let's give Tabitha 1 minute to also add her voice to this, then we wrap up. Tabby, 1 minute.
Yes, so with this issue, I think the AG is exercising his right, and all Ghanaians should be interested in this case. And we are all searching for the truth. We are all hoping that the courts will help us settle this case, because there was,
Okay, no problem.
Because I'm not a legal person, one time I used this word and they told me that it was wrong. I shouldn't say that. I'll sound too prejudicial or whatever they say. Okay. And so I'm going to be very, very measured.
So we should wait for the Supreme Court.
Let's wait for the Supreme Court, yes.
Tabitha, thank you for making the time. Tabitha Ayila is a member of the National Communication Team for the NPP. Next to her, now Tre Nyokpe, a member of the National Communications Team for the NDC. And Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim Hussein, a member of the Interim Independent Committee of the CPP. Ladies, thank you for making the time, and thank you for making time to also join us on the headlines. Tomorrow is your birthday. Elvis Ni Amusaki, businessman, and my own personal brother, Uche Otumba, whichever one you are known by, we love you and hope to see you very soon. And to all the Gamashi people, happy Homo, happy Twins Festival today. See ya.
Wambe disika we wambe tia kumao. Oh sisi fiani, oh sisi fiani. Check the personality. Oh I'm the money no semene na. Namo say my punta, namo say, namo say you, namo say my punta, namo say no semene na. Namo say my punta, namo say, namo say you, namo say my punta, namo say I'm a boy.
Asida, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Today's your birthday?
Yes.
Nice. And so this is like a gift to yourself, right?
Yes, please.
Jamming on the set of GTV Breakfast. Violin boyfriend. Does that mean she's a girl?
Yeah, she's a girl.
What's her name?
Her name, call her Cindy. I have different name for her though.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so Cindy, what else?
I have Cindy, I have Joy. Yeah, because it gives me joy when I play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cindy, why Cindy though?
I'll say I know a lot of ladies that are bearing Cindy.
What's it like playing this violin? It's not a common instrument for Africans. Yeah, guitar, drums, keyboards, but violin. What's the story behind this violin boyfriend?
I would say, firstly, violin is a very unique instrument, very technical, very hard to learn. Yeah, it's not an easy instrument at all. Yeah, so I came about violin boyfriend because basically I've been single for a long time. Yeah, so I spend all my time on the violin, like I practice all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always shooting videos, like I have a lot of videos online. Yeah, so people feel like, oh wow, are you always with your violin all the time? Like that. So I was like, yeah, then that's violin boyfriend, like this takes my time, everything. Yeah.
Give me a sense of, so when you're practicing, what you do, say, imagine you're practicing right now, what would you be playing?
Okay, so basically for example, Asida, I'm going to listen to the lyrics, then I try to get each word on the instrument, like,
yeah. Okay. And then when it trembles like that, it's like you press your finger on the string?
Yeah.
You must do a lot of covers, right? A lot of cover songs.
Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah, I shoot a lot of covers. Yeah, some promotions. Yeah, some for the artists.
Tell us about your violin teacher.
Okay, so though I look up to Kwame Thomas. Yeah.
This is the German white guy with the ponytail who plays in the National Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, please.
And he used to play on Amachi Dede's music as well.
Please.
Okay. So is he the one who taught you?
Oh no, he didn't teach me.
Okay.
Like I study him, I check the way he plays, yeah, and stuff like that. Though I had a teacher, his name is Demola.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now he's not in Africa, he's in the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to go from learning one or two notes to actually playing a song? How long have you been playing violin?
Okay, I've been playing for more than 7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started when I was a kid though. Yeah, so it takes a lot of time, effort, practice. Yeah, like violin is the kind of instrument just to carry, it takes weeks. Because it gives, if you could see my chin,
your chin.
Yeah,
yes.
That shows a lot of practice.
Okay.
Like, and it pains.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not very heavy. Let me hold it. Can I hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know the original violins were not electronic, but this one has
I fixed it myself.
You fixed. So this is what? This is like a microphone?
Yes, please.
Okay. And then
use the jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But this is just a regular violin.
Yeah, this is a regular violin.
Okay. It's not a common instrument. I mean, why would I, if I wanted to buy a violin today, where can I buy one?
Oh, you buy it because it's expensive, it's unique. As a violin player, like violinists are not everywhere because it's a very technical instrument, it's a unique instrument. Like once you are with the violin, you are respected. Then I'm not saying like a keyboardist is not respected.
No.
It's respected. But violin is more respected. Like there's value when you carry the violin as a violinist.
All right. What's the most exciting thing that has happened to you because of you playing a violin? Or the most memorable thing that has happened recently?
Okay, recently,
yes.
Playing for the president.
Oh, you play for the president?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was
NPC opening.
This was in Takrady?
Yes, please.
Okay. So when you're playing, I know your eyes are, we can't see your eyes, but yes, are your eyes closed when you're playing, or you're watching people to see their reaction? So what was the president's reaction when you were playing?
So basically, He was around for the opening speech, but he left. Yeah, though I played for the other ministers in the dining. Yeah, they were all excited.
Excited, yeah? All right. Where has this taken you? Who have you met because of your violin gift? Let me give you back to Cindy, or is it Joy? Cindy, let me give you Cindy Joy. Who are the people that you have met because of your music?
I've met a lot of people, but I'll say I've met. Let me talk about people in the industry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've met Mr. Drew. I've met Mr. Drew, Master Gazi, very important. Yeah, he's one of the biggest audio engineer. He won the audio engineer of the
year.
GME,
Okay.
Master Gazi. I met a whole lot of people because of this instrument. Like, I can't mention all their names, though, but a lot.
What is it? I mean, what's the protocol? If I say you want to do a cover of Paluta's music, do you have to ask him for permission, or where does the soundtrack come from? Do you get someone to make the soundtrack for you? How does it work?
Me, I'm going to say, though a lot of people see me online, they see me when I play, some people take it being normal, and I understand why they feel it's normal, but it's not normal, because playing takes a lot. I have to go to record in the studio for proper audio, yeah. So, for example, I played a King Paluta song, almost 1.3 million right now on TikTok. Yeah, so I didn't reach out to him. Yeah, I did it, but they reached out to me.
Okay, who created the music for it, the backing music? Was it his music?
Yeah, it's his music.
And you just played over it?
Yeah, and I played over it.
Okay, so you found the instru?
Yeah, sometimes I know how to extract the instrumental from the sound.
All right.
Yeah, so I do that. They like it. They texted me. His manager texted me and thanked me for doing the Asida.
Okay, all right. You want to play something else for us again? Mr. Drew's track?
Okay.
If they give us the music, I will play.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Violin Boyfriend, jamming for us on the Breakfast Show. I've gone through your Instagram, and you like these two-piece things, shorts and the boots,
yes,
and the violin, and then it's a whole kind of mix of interesting fashion. I mean, who's the inspiration? What's the inspiration?
Okay, so I'll say, me, I like to be different. Like, the name Violin Boyfriend shows like I'm a different violinist. I'm not just the regular violinist. Okay, maybe like something violinist. No. So this fashion sense came in. Like, I wanted to stand out different, like to be unique. Because I feel as a brand or as an artist, you need to be unique. You need to be easily identified by your audience. Yes, so I decided to have a costume. So, for example, I played at the TGME with Mr. Drew. So people could easily like identify me due to my costume. So I don't need to explain like, okay, I'm Violin Boyfriend, I'm that, and that. They know when they see the orange.
Boom.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's Violin Boyfriend.
And the boots, I mean, you're not wearing shoes like me. You're wearing boots.
Yeah.
Why the boots, my brother?
Yeah, I just feel it matches with the the flow.
Yeah,
vibe.
I think so. Yeah. It gives you kind of some hard look, but the violin is also a soft instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so you're kind of mixing things together.
Yeah, mixing up together.
All right. Where do you see this taking you?
Okay, so basically, I did my first show on 2023. That was last year, November, and it was massive. The love, like, though it was the first time they could, like, people could see like a violinist host a show in Ghana. Yeah, like, they felt it like they felt like it was an artist performing, because the way I perform, like I have a very good like performance energy. Yeah, so I see myself going international. I see myself selling the O2 Indigo. I know it's very possible. Yeah, with time, it's going to happen. Yeah, I see myself selling the O2 Indigo. I see myself hosting shows, UK, Italy, Denmark, London, Spain. Yeah.
Do you see yourself at a point in time also like putting out your own music? And
yeah,
like
basically.
writing your own music and then just jamming with the violin?
Yeah, so I do that now. I've started doing that. But right now, like, I don't want to release mine yet.
No, of course.
Just so I sample people beat.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, jump on the stuff that's around.
Yeah.
Let people know who you are, and then you can
Yes,
drop yours
please.
later.
Yeah, so right now, like, I'm dealing with Amapianos. So I had some, I brought out an Amapiano early this year, and it did massive, like a lot of videos, over 1,000 videos upload.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amapiano.
So, yeah, and Amapiano. So I sampled on someone's beat. So I just dropped one recently.
Okay.
That was yesterday.
Just yesterday?
Yeah.
Ahead of your birthday?
Yeah.
Yes, because today is the day.
Yes, please.
How are you celebrating? How does Violin Boyfriend celebrate birthdays?
Okay, honestly speaking, it's been a while of celebrating my birthday.
You don't celebrate your birthday? Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
But right now, I feel a lot of people, like, they know me right now. So they're like, okay, bro, like, let's meet up, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. So I'm thinking of doing a get-together, like, for my road manager and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be the plan for today?
Yeah, that's the plan for today.
Okay. Any performances?
Oh, no, like today, I just want to do...
Apart from today, you're not going to perform?
Yeah.
Apart from now?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Have you ever broken a violin?
Yeah, I did.
What was the story behind that?
Okay, so I was a little boy then. So I think rain was falling that day. Yeah, so I was going, I don't know, like a car mistakenly hit me. Then my violin fell and it crossed on top of it.
What?
It broke, yeah.
What was your emotion? How did you feel?
It was very terrible because violin is expensive.
You cried?
Oh no, I didn't cry, but I was like, wow, it's gone. And it was very new. I got it that day, yeah.
The day you bought it?
Yeah, the day.
It
It
went?
happened the evening, yeah.
What?
So
So this is your number, what, is it your second, third, fourth violin?
So this is my fourth.
It's your fourth violin. Do you have different violins for different events?
Oh no.
This is the same one that you use?
No, I have another one.
Okay, so the one that you played for the president, was it this one?
Yeah, I used this one.
Okay, all right, nice. Awesome. You've done some work with Stonebwoy.
Oh yeah, like, I uploaded a video yesterday, so he commented, he posted me on his story and all of that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Great stuff. Hopefully one day you play live with him on his show.
Yeah, if somebody is listening, I would love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah, that would be some great energy. Okay. Anybody you want to shout out, Violin Boyfriend?
Okay, I'll say shout out to my manager, shout out to my friends, my fans, and everybody that love Violin Boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And family, what do they make of this? Any musicians in your family, by the way?
Yeah, I got two musicians.
Okay.
Yeah, one plays the violin. Yeah, one plays the clarinet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're from a musical family?
Not really. But we, the kids, just picked interest in music.
And that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. So who bought your first violin for you?
My mom.
Okay. Shout out to Mama.
Yeah.
You be so.
But she's late right now.
Yeah, we still shout out her. Yeah, because she gave you something that you're using right now.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right, man. Listen, I'm going to leave you to play out on your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
May you have more birthdays,
Thank
more gigs, and make it happen. Keep doing it, man. All righty. Violin Boyfriend, jamming on his own birthday, right here at GTV Breakfast.
navigating relationship with our in-laws and extended family. This is the conversation we are having today. We are asking you to be part of our conversation if you can. Our socials are active. Our WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034. We are streaming live on Facebook at the GTV Ghana. We are streaming live on YouTube and X as well with the same handles. Today, we are not going to be having our usual relationship coach in the house. She is under the weather. We are sending you speedy recovery soon. We have in studio Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia. He is our relationship coach and our guest for today. He's going to be telling us how to navigate those relationships with our in-laws. Yesterday happened to be his birthday. Happy birthday, Apostle. Happy belated birthday, Apostle. What did you do yesterday for your birthday?
Yesterday, this question, I think a gentleman asked me because I know I do online lecturing, so I was having lectures, and when he joined...
Lectures on what, please?
Oh, apparently it's marriage and family counseling course.
Okay.
So, there's people from Australia and that place who joined, and he joined. I was like, Apostle, I thought today is your birthday, so you know. So, no. Birthdays are celebrated not because of the numbers, they are celebrated because of the impact.
Okay.
So, you have the joy to celebrate your birthday based on the impact you are making. Yeah, so this gives me joy when I see or I sit behind my laptop and I'm giving out what God has blessed me with. And that's the best moment I had with the people that I lectured.
Okay, well, we are wishing you well on your new year. Okay, let's delve into our conversation of the day. Our relationship with our in-laws. Do we have like certain challenges that run across probably all marriages when it comes to in-laws?
Well, let me say a very good morning to cherry viewers of GTV, and also a very good morning to my senior anchorite, Reverend Dr. Nanaya. No, she's an anchorite, and I think Thelma is also an anchorite. Yes, I'm also an anchorite.
Jay is as well.
Yes, I'm also an anchorite. So all anchorites, we say good morning to you. Now, you see, the issue of in-law, I tell people that when it comes to Ghana, it's a big challenge. Do you know why?
Is it just Ghana?
Yeah, it's Ghana because I'm using Ghana because when you go to the Western, Ghana, we have 3 marriages.
Yeah.
Our constitution recognizes 3 marriages. They're customary. That you people call engagement. It's a full marriage on its own. Yes, the customary. Then we have the Mohammedan, then we have the ordinance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have Christian marriage. Yes. Unfortunately for pastors, we don't have Christian marriage. What we have done is to bring 2 marriages together.
Okay.
Yes.
The traditional.
It's not traditional, customary.
Okay.
It's a full marriage. We call engagement. It's not engagement. It's a marriage.
Okay.
So what
customary marriage.
Yeah, the idea is that when it comes to marriage, the customary in the Muhammad, they are polygamous in nature, which means people can marry under that. Marry this ordinance and just marry other people. Additional
more than
wife,
one woman.
But with ordinance, it's one man, one wife, and that is where Christian we can relate to. So we have decided to bring in the ordinance and the customary together.
Okay.
Then the customary don't give much credence to the in-laws. The ordinance. The ordinance gives you the premium on put the premium on the couples. Because the idea is that you are old enough, so all you need is witnesses. It doesn't have to be your parent or anybody. We just need witnesses to come and just witness that, yes, indeed, I was there when you guys had your marriage. Then we have the customary. We give much premium to in-laws because that's more of the family coming together. The customary. Right. So if you are bringing these 2 ceremonies together, you can imagine it's like sewing 2 different materials. One don't respect, unless I won't use the word respect.
Foreign.
Yes. Aside of being foreign, it doesn't give much premium to the in-laws. Whereas one gives much premium. So then pastors will force you to go and do the customary because and still do the ordinance. Now people come and say, okay, with the ordinance, the ordinance take higher ground because when you do ordinance, it cancels your customary. Yeah, that's why you can't divorce under the by just saying your snap and other things. You have to go back to the court and divorce someone. So you see clearly that there's a problem already. There's a problem already because this where I belong doesn't respect or become in-laws. But in-laws are important because you've gone to them to do your customary with them. You have to respect them. They believe that marriage is between 2 families, not just the 2 of you.
That's a customary.
Yes, marriage is between the 2 of you, 2 families. So you have to respect everybody. Everybody becomes part of your family. And the challenge is that if you have maybe two grown parents who are already on your neck, you are now going to add additional 2 from your white side, making 4. And you can imagine dealing with 4 people. It's not easy. So you need wisdom. So I normally tell people that when it comes to our side here, you need higher wisdom, more wisdom to deal with your in-laws. Because imagine how you are even dealing with your own parents. Those who brought you to this world, you have challenges with them. Then somebody who don't know even how your upbringing, doesn't have an idea
of where the
environment you grew up, he doesn't know you. And you have to now go and learn about this person, because you see, one key thing about our culture is about respect. Unfortunately, respect is a relative. Relative in the sense that some part of the country, if you're talking to the elderly, you have to look straight into their eyes. Look at my eyes. I'm talking. Look at, because to show respect means I'm looking at straight into your eyes. There's some part of the same country you have to look down. So your definition of respect may be different from my definition. So you trying to relate with your in-laws alone can people, because what you are taught from your parents' house may be contrary to what they deem as respect. So you go, you think you're putting up your best, and yet they're having issues with you.
You're looking at your mother-in-law in the face, probably thinking it's out of respect. And she might think you should look down.
You don't respect me. How dare you look at me like that? Perhaps your parents didn't train you well. Forgetting that we are coming from different environments. So it's very difficult. In fact, I was supposed to, our part of the world, we have a bigger issue when it comes to dealing with people, at workplace and that. We are bringing our own cultures, our trainings together. That we need to understand ourselves. We want to empathize with ourselves, put ourselves in our shoes and look, Valerie is coming from a different place. So perhaps I don't have to be too harsh on her. But unfortunately, we don't have that. People try to understand from their perspective, and they give you name.
They judge you from their perspective.
This lady doesn't respect the lady you brought home, the man you brought home, the way he came dressing. So it means you have to now learn more about the culture of the man or the woman you are getting married to. You have to learn how to relate with them. Okay. And this is where many of us are getting it wrong, because sometimes we assume that it's the same everywhere. It's not the same. If you don't learn, you are going to be seen as a disrespectful person, which many people are going through that. So that's one. The other issue is that there are many of us, based on the experiences we've had around, how people, my in-laws, have treated them. We go into marriages with our own perceptions. Yeah. Yes, I met a lady who says, I'm a buno. So imagine you are now going to marriage with this perception that if my in-laws dare me, I'll beat her. How can you do so? You have already started on the wrong foot. You have a wrong orientation about marriage, because you need to understand that, you see, as a pastor, I tell people that aside they be your in-law, they're even older than you. Yeah. And the Bible speaking said we should honor our parents, not only your biological parents. So you need to even settle with that understanding that, look, regardless of the fact that they are my in-laws, they are still parents to me. Yeah. Until you get this understanding, you may end up going into marriage with wrong orientations because of past experiences, or sometimes not about your personal experience, but what you've seen people go through. Because some in-laws can be very difficult. I did a teaching recently when I was teaching about temperament, and I was making reference to the melancholics, where they most of the time create a lot of problems without them knowing.
Because they are quiet and keep to themselves.
They are more emotional. Their empathy is high. Okay. Their mind is set in the past. Okay. They always remember the past. So whenever the emotions are high, they only remember the past. So when they give it to their kids, even though you are now grown up, you are now married, they still see you as their child, a small boy. That's how they relate to you. So they wish they can even come to your house and prepare food for you. They want your wife to come and treat you in a certain way. Some end up going to their, their son's homes to go and cook and those things, competing with the wife. We've seen that. Unfortunately, the woman who will be complaining that my in-law is worrying me, she is also a melancholic. She ended up give birth to her son, and because of that bonding, because they have that strong bonding for their children. Aside, their temperament, there's also a psychological issue here. Okay. You know, most of the time when you have a family where everything is normal, the women relate more to their, or the girls relate more to their father. Yes. And the guys relate more to their fathers. It's a psychological, orientation. Okay. Because the men relating to their, mothers is what we call Oedipus complex.
What complex?
Oedipus complex.
Oedipus
then the women relating to their fathers, when we call it Elantra complex. Okay. Most of the time, it starts from 4 years. That's where you have that kind of sexual attraction towards your father or your mother, depending on your gender.
Sex.
Yes,
Okay.
so if the women develop that sexual attraction towards their fathers, and the men develop that sexual attraction towards their mothers.
Okay. Is that why men tend to marry women who look like their moms, and women tend to look for father figures or people who look at that?
That is one of the another reason too is that that's why when things are normal, because some homes
in a normal setting,
yes, normal setting. And when the woman too is melancholic, they are more attached to their male sons.
Okay.
Yes.
Children.
In fact, they end up marrying their male sons. Oh yes, that's another teaching altogether. Most melancholic end up marrying their male sons.
Most melancholic mothers end up marrying their own sons legally.
No, not married.
How do you mean?
They may not have sex.
Okay,
But you see, when you talk of marriage, marriage don't start from putting ring on your finger. Marriage starts from emotions. That's why when you read the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3, told you, let the husband render to the wife the affection due her. So if you are emotionally attached, whereby I make you happy, I know how to satisfy you in terms of if your love language is, let's say, words of affirmation, and I come around you, I know how to speak good words to you, where you come so excited about me. You are emotionally attached. Now the point is, when you marry, you are supposed to get that from only your spouse, your partner. So a woman should expect that from the husband, the man should expect that from the woman. But unfortunately, in marriage, marriage goes to stages.
Okay.
After you pass into your passion stage where you just were all over yourself, you are like, I would die if you don't marry me. Those energy, these are pure chemicals running through your dopamine and oxytocin hormones running through you. Now, the moment you move beyond that stage, you move to what we call the realization stage, where reality will set in, and you begin to feel that your partner is a mistake. No, this one is the person. The temptation that you end up switching your emotions towards your children is there. And this is a psychological issue. Where the mother developed that attraction for your son also develops it. So you become so bonded. That's why most women even tend to now relate more with their male sons. Sharing their secret, and their husband don't even know what is happening. There are many conversations that will go on, and how the man of that don't even know. So here, I call it marriage. You are now emotionally attached to your son, and your husband is now a stranger in your home.
It happens on the opposite side as well.
And the man also comes in as a choleric. Now he now calls instead of calling the wife you will now be calling the daughter to do everything in the house. So we now switch but unfortunately, the men sometimes, because of sometimes the logical aspect of it, when the ladies are leaving them, they are able to now understand that my daughter is gone. But the women most of the time are not able to release their sons. That's why they end up creating unnecessary problems. It's like you come in and the son, you are not like a rival. Because the son, he can't release, because now the son is everything to him. The son understands him more than the husband. That's the perception she has. That look, because he has now, it's like he's now attached to the son. He shares his secret, everything. And so it's not easy to now release you. So if you don't break that, you end up becoming a nuisance to your son's marriage, where you are now interfering in everything, calling him, have you eaten, as you said? Asking the wife, you have to prepare this food, you have to do this,
I had a conversation
with some women controlling their sons in their marriage, their mommy's son, and those things becomes a bigger issue. But you need wisdom. That's why the word in our part. So this is the foundation I wanted to lay. So you as a
wife or an in-law,
yes, wisdom to deal with this. Sometimes we just assume that we just conclude because we are more spiritist. Spiritist in the sense that we always tend to now look at everything from spiritual sense. You understand? So the moment somebody is behaving, because we don't understand the psychological aspect of it, we just call it a witch. This woman is a witch.
Or just problematic.
Problematic.
Yes.
So the more you get that funny perception, your behavior towards that person will be wrong. You want to now, you build defenses where you don't want the person to come in, like you are trying to push the person out. But it's not easy to push somebody who have stayed with the son for all these years. This in-law needs that wisdom to appreciate the father. My son is not married. But unfortunately, she doesn't have. So you rather need a higher reason to counter her. You understand? Because apparently she should have just gotten to a state to realize that, look, my son is not a grown-up. He's married. I have to allow him to go on. But he doesn't have that wisdom. So if you also now, it's like red light. If somebody's coming with a higher light and you also come higher, you are going to crash.
Okay.
And that's what we are having now. So you coming in now, you need something knowledge to now settle you down. That's what I say. You need to first first appreciate that this is a grown up. Aside she being my in-law, she's a grown up.
She could be my mom.
Yes, I need to respect her. Because you see, in the Bible, I always tell Christians, there are two great commandments. The first one is for us to honor our parents. And it comes with, it's like a key. One is it will be well with you. So to open the door of success, you need that wisdom to respect, to honor. Two, your days on earth will be longer. These are two great keys. That you honor parents alone. Then the next time the Bible commanded us to honor is when you commanded husbands to honor their wives. In the book of 1 Peter chapter 3. And that one, the reason is that the woman carries your prayer key as a man. In marriage, people don't know this.
Okay. Apostle, let me just announce the phone number. We're announcing the phone number 0543-664264 is on our screens now. Call us and share your experiences with us. We are discussing in-laws, how to love them regardless. And we have Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah, relationship coach, in studio, giving us bars on bars on bars. So if you're a woman in a marriage and you have a problematic mother-in-law, someone who calls you and says you have to give her son food at this time, like, tries to lay the rules for you, how do you deal with such a mother-in-law?
So I will mention just about 2 or 3 things. One, you need to build up emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
You see, emotional intelligence will deal with 5 themes. The first one is self-awareness. You need to know yourself.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Because you need to know what makes you happy, what causes you pain. You need to know your strength, your weaknesses, and we all have it. Then you need to understand your partner. Now, I just had a Sunday summit, and I was teaching them that, look, the unfortunate thing now, that thing we are building now in marriage is that we go into marriage without building shared vision. Shared vision about our relationship with our in-laws is key, which most of us don't even discuss it. You need to discuss it. Val may be coming from a home whereby it's like a community sponsorship. The auntie was the one who bought her first form for her. The uncle was the one who paid her fees. Yeah. The brothers were those who were giving her pocket money. So imagine you going to marry such a person. It's like the whole family owns her. They are entitled, but they have invested in her. I may be coming from a place whereby the first time I saw my dad, I was even 15 years old. I don't have any uncle who sponsored me. I don't have anybody who did anything for me. So in my mind, when I marry, my wife is my everything. I don't have any this for any family. Now imagine these people come to marry. I may set rules in my mind. When I marry, nobody will come and visit me. It's my wife and I. Meanwhile, Val is also coming with the intention that everybody can come because they all invested in me. Meanwhile, we didn't discuss it. So in marriage, that's where people will say, anytime my in-laws come or when my parents come, my husband don't receive them well, or you see that clashes.
Okay. Because
we are coming from different backgrounds.
Right. Let's pick Vera's call. Vera is calling us from Ashoman. Good morning, Vera. Thank you for joining our conversation. How are you? Good morning. Vera, please lower the volume on your TV set.
I've done that.
Right. Okay. Share your experience with us, Vera. Are you married?
Currently I'm cohabiting, but I'm really facing the problem you spoke about. The unfortunate problem was when we were cohabiting, I had a child in the process. And honestly, the woman didn't show me her attitude until I got pregnant. And it's so very, very bitter for me. And I'm thinking of not either going into the marriage at all because I've seen a lot of red flags.
Right. Apostle.
Yeah. So, you see, that's another discussion together. Because she saw something and she decided I won't marry. But the point is, anytime you see a challenge, it's evident you need additional knowledge to solve it. Every problem can be solved.
So in this case, what should she do? She doesn't want to go into the marriage because she's seeing red flags.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That perhaps if I meet her right now, we need to first and foremost understand the temperament of the woman. We all behave differently. So perhaps how she's relating towards you, you may think, she's a bad person. But if you also now get to understand her, you now understand where she's coming from. Okay. Imagine this woman is a single mom. She single-handedly took care of the son. Now the son is going into marriage. to a woman, maybe the woman is not, from their mind, is not working, who cannot support, who cannot help. Some mothers look at it, no, this one is not good for you. So it takes the man to now prove to the woman that, well, my wife or this woman can be a good wife to me. If the man is not able to do that, or is not able to convince the mother is not ready to receive you. So here's the case that the man has a major role to play here. Most of the challenge we are having with in-laws, sometimes I said it because of the men. The men are not bold enough to convince their wives about their mom and convince their mom about their wife. They are not able to do that. And if a man is not, that's what the Bible will tell you, marriage is not for children. It says for a man, for this a man, the person should be matured enough to appreciate, to understand. Because as a man, you have two people to honor, your parents and your wife. That's how you indicated. Which means these two are so important for you. Your wife is so important that she is going to carry the key to your prayer. If you marry a woman and you're able to honor her, your prayers will be hindered. You can also say, I've married, so I can't honor my parents. So how do you balance the two? How? You understand? Yeah. You need wisdom. So I need to now, let my mother appreciate that. Look, this woman, you have no idea how she has helped me. There are things that you can say to convince your mom. Okay. But if you go and every small challenge you are telling your mom, the woman loves you, your mother loves you, and this is a challenge for most of the men. Unfortunately, are not mature enough. They end up sending information, issues in their relationship. Sometimes not even marriage. Issues in their relationship, telling their mom about this lady, every small issue they send it. Now, by the time you're there, there's a big issue for your mother to accept that one. So you see the attitude. So it's all about how you are able to convince both sides, which most men are not doing it. But coming back to what I was indicating about the emotional intelligence. So when you're able to know yourself, so for instance, let me put it this way. If I get to know myself that I'm a choleric are spontaneous, I can just get up and do things on my own. Now, my mother-in-law is a melancholic. Melancholic, they define everything by embarrassment. So they can't just receive anyhow. They need to study you, understand you, and know that, yes, you are somebody they can relate with. Right. Therefore,
yes, Apostle, let's pick a call before we lose a caller. We have a caller from Community 25. Good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning. My name is Senna.
Senna, thank you for joining our conversation. Senna, are you married? Are you dealing with a problematic in-law? If you are, share your experience with us, please.
Okay, thank you, madam. Please, I'm not married, but one of my sisters is married. But I want to ask or understand okay, let's say, my sister shared with me in the marriage that her in-law, when you pay visit to them, then he will start asking a certain question that, when are you going to give birth to my son? And the way she has been doing the thing, as for her, I don't know, she don't like how the in-law has been acting. So at times it seems like the in-law is saying her adult. I want to understand something.
Right, Senna, Apostle will speak to your issue.
I think with this one, you already do the course, childbearing, and this one's another major topic. In our part of the world where we see children as like, you must give birth, and that's one thing I personally have been teaching and I'm helping people to understand. When you check the Bible, unfortunately, it was misinterpreted for us. When the Bible says, be fruitful, multiply, it wasn't all about biological, no. Be fruitful, means discover yourself, discover your purpose. Now, if I discover myself and I'm able to impart you, I've given birth to you. So I've multiplied myself in you. My knowledge, my conviction has come into you. The Bible was so clean about some of this. Unfortunately, the chi misinterpreted is like, so it's all about giving birth biological. So I normally tell people, look at Jesus Christ. He was on this side. Was it fruitful? Yes. He knew why he was here. Did he multiply? Yes. He multiplied himself in the disciples. Did he now for the earth? Yes. So he went through the process without giving birth to one biological child. So children they are gifts from God. That one should always, I pray we can get the opportunity to, send some of this message out. So that if I don't have a child biologically, it doesn't make me, a lesser person. You understand? The God Almighty adopted us. We are adopted children. So what stops you? If you understand yourself and you know why God brought you there, you are supposed to be a blessing to. Father means Abba. Abba means see yourself as a source. So that anybody who comes around you, you have the requirement to build the person. Don't give them biologically. Then it's like there's a Western that has happened to you. It's wrong. Now let me even quickly end on this. Pastors are giving birth, and some of their children are weed smokers. If you want to even define that statement biologically, be fruitful, multiply. Multiply means reproduce your kind. You are a man of God. Your son is now working for the devil. Have you multiplied yourself? That alone, you've deducted yourself. So if you're going by this alone, so we need to, it's about education. Unfortunately, but many women are going through this problem. But let me also add this quickly. The reason sometimes they put the blame on the women. For one time, somebody was asking, so Pastor, why is it they always blame the women? Say they will blame you because a man cannot go out and carry a child. You, a woman, can go out there and bring a child. So they are telling you, if the problem is with my son, go there and bring a child. Yeah. We don't care. Yeah, that's the notion. That's why they always blame the woman.
Things from the house. Just last weekend, I was expecting my husband to choose me over, like, stand by me, but he didn't prove anything like that. I don't know what to do. I'm going through a lot of trauma right now, and I need the help.
Right, Redeemer, how many years have you been married?
5 years now.
5 years, right. Apostle will speak to your issue.
Yeah. So I think there's a clear indication that the man has not, behave or has not behaved like a man.
Like what you said earlier, that the man is supposed to explain everything about his woman to them.
You don't marry and keep your wife and your mother-in-law. It's like two wives in the house. I just explained the psychological element. You can't change it. It's there.
What if, in this case, it cannot be helped?
The point I'm making, that's what the Bible will even tell you. A man must leave the father and mother. That statement alone should tell you something. God knows better than you. That you leave your father and mother doesn't mean reject them all, but you need to leave their influence. You need to move to a place where you can take decisions on your own. You don't marry and keep your wife and your mother-in-law. It won't work. It will not work. So, which means the man has not lived up to expectation. He needed to have gotten a place with the wife. You don't stay in the same house with your mother-in-law.
So in this case, what would you advise Redeemer?
Yes, so I believe that. I don't know the church they attend or where they found themselves, but I think they needed a professional counselor to help. At least somebody needed to speak to the man. Yeah, but if you also stay with your mother-in-law, that I say we need to now, let me put it this way. Knowledge is key. I mentioned it.
Apostle, we have a Reverend Minister from Kumasi. Okay. So let's hear his submission. Good morning, Rev from Kumasi. How are you? Which part of Kumasi are you calling us from, please?
I'm very fine this morning.
Which part of Kumasi are you calling us from, sir? Rev?
Yes, I'm calling from Kumasi, Patasi village.
Patasi.
Yes.
Right. Rev, you have our eyes and ears.
Yes. I want to contribute to the program.
Sure.
See, what I don't understand is there are a lot of problematic church members, and there are a lot of problematic in-laws in the Christendom. I don't understand this. Why is it that every Christian mother wants the son to take care of her more than her wife? I don't understand. I've come across certain problems that in-laws deliberately create problems, unnecessary problems. I tell you, I'm a researcher and I know what I'm talking about. For the sake of something, I will not mention my name. There are so many people who think for the fact that they have given birth to the man, the woman should make sure that the wife, should make sure that the husband take care of her until she passed on before. And my research is showing that when we talk about problematic in-laws and problematic wives, the ratio is, if these programs can be done this way and can be translated to local languages for them to understand, because it is a very important program. It's a very important program. I've been following and monitoring you every morning. You are doing well. But this I don't understand. I can give you numbers about 200 in-laws who are problematic, consistent problematic.
200.
In this Ashanti region alone. I don't understand it. If the wife is not being able to give birth, it's a problem. If the wife dresses very nice, it's a problem. To some in-laws. It's some in-laws. I don't understand. I've sat down with them. All that they are saying is that, hey, I'm giving birth to my son, and my son is to take care of me until I pass on before. But they should understand that. They have now become couples. You see, minding their business. If it did not go well for the man, the woman too will suffer. And the children will suffer. The in-laws have to understand that.
Right.
The man is their son. But the man will not remain in their house forever.
Right.
I have some in-laws who call their sons to come and eat every evening and neglecting the food of the wife. And every day there's a conflict. Every day there's a fight. Every day there's a quarrel in the marriage. So thank you very much, and my brother too. Thank you very much. Let us continue to do these programs of problematic in-laws, problematic wives, and problematic Christians who is not thinking about the glory of God, but always thinking about their selfish motives and selfish interests.
Yes,
Thank you
please.
very much.
Thank you, Rev. And so our Rev says because of certain issues, he couldn't mention his name, but he's calling us from Kumasi.
Yeah, see, he called for the tree. Let me quickly say this. He mentioned Christians.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we have this challenge with Christians is that Christians, unfortunately, our orientation to marriage, we are reading the Bible, but we are interpreting it with our culture. That's a problem now.
Okay.
We are reading the Word of God, but we
Okay.
are interpreting it with our culture. So a Christian lady, our culture from the past gave that, divided marriage in that sense that where a man is to take care of the woman. That's not biblical.
Okay.
That's not biblical.
Okay.
God created marriage on 3 foundations. God made the man a father. He made the woman mother. It's the same level.
Mm-hmm.
God made the man husband. He made the woman wife. The same level. God made the man priest. He made the woman prophetess. The same level. So we have spiritual authorities. We have rules to ourselves. And we have foundational rule to the society and everybody. So if you're a woman, you need to build yourself as a mother, as a wife, and a prophetess before you can function well in marriage. But because in the past, the women were not working, their mother who became, or was reduced to only cleaning and cooking and wait. Then the men will go and work and come back home. So the idea of marriage today is that I'm going to marry for a man to take care of me. It's a wrong doctrine. And unfortunately, Christians have that notion. So
wait, is that doctrine in the customary side?
Yeah, that's the customary teaching. And unfortunately, pastors are preaching that because we don't even understand what the Bible means. You see, the Bible now gives that full picture that a woman in marriage, now just imagine when God was bringing the woman. He said, I'm going to make you a helper. You know what it means? This woman can take care of herself and take care of
you.
Man. So a woman, any woman who goes into marriage with the intention that a man is going to take care of me, you've already broken the foundation. The man is supposed to take care of you while you're supposed to take care of him. The same level. That's why today some women, when they start working, they're earning money. They think they don't even need marriage. For marriage was reduced to a man coming to take care of me. This is why most in-laws too are creating problems because they assume that papa na me ba na wo hwe me no. So they say na ko hwe de yere. But imagine say we share va wo ye wadwuma. Wonim say va onya wo na ne basika na obedia or the respect be ma wo.
Matiase. Matiase. Your caller from Nanakrom. Good morning. Thank you for calling us, please. What's your name?
Ladies, I want to speak Nanakola.
Feel free.
Okay. As someone I'm working no crepa, me see the same problem. Masi, se me pade na me de komana, na dwe na se, ne basika na me de akoto. Wo sha kare na wo dress ya, ne basika na wo de address. In fact, and seven mu be a hard dream papa. And come in here, me fene center, e be a 1 weekend, what dress, what to tell them kakakra. Would a poor saying, would not send you weekend, no. But oh, the what dream would the face and any free. But mamma no, ni bibi no be no we are saying effect. Bibi no we are here, a yen effect. And so no more binu. In fact, my yenin, may not be 35 years. But the machine can master by me who got me pleasant day. so be me busuafo a enya de obetimi ne matena da me so be me busua nti na masem so no e da se bebre
yo mpacho menko nti wo in-law no only na sitting mu to say how do you deal with her
me de makuma mu de me ne problem woni mu no wo hu o be sere fine but wo da ne we tia na oye
okay mpacho nti ye da se say wa fraying apostle be commenting
I think it's a good thing. You see, just recently a gentleman called me and they both were saying, hey, Pastor, can you imagine my mother-in-law told my wife that why is it that me first can't send them? And it was Andrew. I said, look, you are the cross. You know why you are the cross? Before Obishiano, he, according to him, he has been sending money to his parents.
Yeah.
The woman was sending money to the parents. After marriage, they are still sending money to their respective parents. I said, that is wrong. The moment you marry, in marriage, we honor ourselves. It's called the law of reflection principle. We don't marry and want to take glory for yourself. Our glory is found in our partners. That's another thing. That's why Jesus will pray to God and say, glorify your son, that your son will glory. That glory you give me will reflect back to you.
So
the moment you marry, anything you are sending to your parents should be in the name of your wife. I will not say anything to my mother or father and say, Mommy, me nam diamond. No, me na say I'm wrong.
Well, so what worry? Now Oma me chop money e say o catch Oma me say o yere na say fa chop money man and say Oma me chop money cry.
Oh the be man no everything you are sending to your parents if you have to you do it in the name of your the same thing if your wife is sending anything to her the parents she needs to do it in the name of the husband. It's no longer your name.
Okay.
You see that is a foundation, it's a full teaching. Okay. That if you miss this point, that's why the parent, and as she said, what the man was we said they are wrong. And the man needs to work on it. That's why don't counsel, premarital counsel. I'm very particular about this. There are 5 major issues that you need to deal with in premarital counsel.
Okay. Let's pick Kinsley. Kinsley is calling us from Kumasi. Kinsley, thank you for calling us. Which part of Kumasi are you calling us from?
From Panchenebra.
Panchenebra?
Yeah.
All right. Please share your experience with us. Are you married?
My marriage is on rock. We have even stopped for about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And I would like to come to your distance to share what is happening now about marriage. No? Yes, I want to speak to you.
Okay. Feel free, but you'll catch you.
Mr. O'Shea, and Yama, of course, to see what we are Yakasa, at the end of the day, now you have a jai near cast and fufro. But say, I'm saying, young cock, young cock Bible, woman, Tiania, Ecoso, Nina. How are you more? You better papa. They say, the son of focus. I think, Marwa and Umami and also Papa, a warring war, our regal. On says, I dream in a bra, na, I dream what was said. So, Kawaria, Okakope, especially man, Mokope, Bibi, Abufina, dream, I crown and Sena, Beman is a so shame. I didn't. Oko Bible more and Tissa, and Oko Bible more and Tissa cry. Oh. Na nyama bebree so wo ho a ka no Bible mu a ese so oba uyo ansana be ma na yeden wado wa se sane ma nyina ma be ma ntumi no da
yo
e na se so me de me da bia me ka se e be kakra no me de me bo ho mpa e de but se anhwe yi a e be ma omo nware bio be ma they will never marry omo nware bio na fe na because problems will now you have to solve it.
Okay. Kinsley, Patrolman call off your line. Wait here, as MPC medical concern kakra, but didn't you now marriage ni break here? Why is it on the rocks?
Hey, na me ma some dem ka say enye na asomu. Hello.
Want to be if I say capsule kakra mu my then your bani fault and your fault.
Me must have made the Bible to tone, me drew bread, you know. Which even?
Patron to you.
Edu baby no. Na me fan say me tie Bible mu nsɛm a ebi big me tie and say so oyere kra kobo adwaman a ope a oni ne betina saa. I did that thing. Me yire kobo adwaman. So me san ne tena ba wo me last one. Me yire kofa me feel run ne die. Me yire. Any me oni me feel run die. Ema me kun ka yagani. Na me kan what you say. Me kan say me come in me story there. In about 15 years me sure ba I see her to be problem to me. And me nakra wa na wa. Because I tell you why in person me disturb mo. Obi so jira line so why?
Case in pacha we dey da say wa free ye da se pa.
Okay.
But see, we are not treating marriage as a full topic. But they were from Abraham Kingsley and say, our no the 9-year tripod. When we send a camera and 9 years son. But coupe bukra our in better form. The first led near spiritual. Nyami boni pass home. Not need to nipedia no money pardon. So you are a spiritual being, you are a psychological being, you are a social being. So marriage is built on these 3 foundations. Now, if you are praying about your marriage, you are just satisfied once, and you need to also find out whether psychologically you agree. You need to know the temperament of your wife. Yeah. This woman, all come here assessing, say, oh, you temperament, as someone listen, who has any weakness and strength, then you know how to manage it. Okay. Then the next one is sociological. When the issue, sociological from one person to everything you interact with, into a framework, into in-laws, a year can fall under the sociological. And over the years, I always say most counselors, your counsel not based on the sociological. But we don't look at the psychological and the spiritual. But each one was so important that you can't take it out. And one cannot hold the marriage. That's why most Christians reduce every marital issue to prayers. They will pray to the marriage will collapse. Yeah. Prayer alone cannot hold marriage. Psychological which means sociological. So you need to understand this foundation. And sometimes some people who are moved in some of these cases, but now when we transfer for analyze, they didn't say who knows. Sometimes we're connected from by manifest spiritually. They are authors. And they are patterns across recently, probably by me saying, or sending you obey John. Just when we did a simple assessment, hold on. If you want a member will be on the 3rd or 4th marriage, you know why? Why fearful? No, it will move. Now, would you before as a bunch of into a giant? Ujana, one for second one to be or 3rd or 4th. It won't show ban, but the pro is coming from one castle fee, or baby will hold the fear money in our car, Samba fee. So coming now fear. So well, who baby who free but now dreams our age just may share volunteer warrior. They are all tests in your home. So spiritually you need to deal with certain things, psychologically and the social level. So when we talk of marriage, that's why I disappointed me. I say, but obeying your opportunities near enough for it. Baby will hold close on social one share. The problem is only about one side. It takes 2 to tango. So by the time you are meaning but when they came back, assess said, no, say from free, I shall get with some of these things even before entering into the marriage. And I didn't do that. Therefore, I have to now stand on my feet. So I'm blaming my husband, I'm blaming my wife. But meanwhile, the thing is coming from my home. So we need to now understand some of this. And these spiritual issues will come, into the physical realm through our own behaviors. Right. But I say, it's over concentrate. So we need to always diagnose some of these things well and appreciate the foundation. And in-laws, I think you must solution to the in-laws, but now we can't one about what do you call it?
First, you did emotional intelligence.
The next one is your friend validation. Yes, this one most people are not getting it.
We'll validation. Wow. Yes. And then the next one.
Yeah, validation is key, bros. You see, I know how to accept right to solve. Never try to change anything without understanding the thing. Okay. You understand? Okay. So, now it's sir. My money book for more. Come you ideas and do both for no I'm here to listen to you. See any some walk no. Where you enough for advice be here. But when you enter na Christian in a way they say Christian we always try to attack people. Okay. You can never solve a problem when you don't understand the problem.
You have to come in for part 2. Our screen is buzzing. We have lots of calls. Our Facebook page is off. You have to